Hello, Twitch chat. How the devil are you today? We've got a fantastic set of games up for us today for the May Nova Cup. And with me on the caster's couch, it is the wonderful Scofftrold. Hello, how are you?
Hello, Benny. How are you? I'm
I'm
great.
good, dude. I'm good. You're looking
Nice.
absolutely fabulous today, by the way, mate.
Yeah, I
Look at that
figured.
shirt, man. On fire.
Well, I figured we gotta look representable for the stream today.
I mean, I didn't get the memo, unfortunately, so I'm kind of
Oh,
slumming it with my t-shirt on and my bald head, and here's you looking like a model on the catwalk. Hey,
what's up?
all good, dude, all good.
All
So,
right.
for our first match today, we're actually casting a team called Penny Sucks, which it must be some sort of typo. I don't understand why anyone would name their team that. Sounds.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a typo. They missed balls at the end.
Whoa! I mean, that sounds pretty slanderous to me. So that's a team made up of Bernd Das Brot, aka Julian. He's a moderator in the Discord, all around pleb. Sometimes I have to carry him as a duo partner on the ladder, and he's teaming up with Dark Quacker, who's the guy that some of you may know from that spreadsheet he creates every time there's a patch with every single unit and every single type of gold efficiency you might or might not want to know about. So, kind of a right couple of nerds in that team, we can say.
That sounds pretty great.
And they are facing off against it is the Speedrun team, which is made up of Shadowings and Shay, the Canadian duo. So definitely expect to see some starving. Although having said that, I was looking at Shadow's profile earlier, and his tactician score is pretty low. Like it's lower than yours. It's still
Well,
higher than mine.
everybody's tactician score is lower than
Yeah,
mine.
that's because you're a dirty chaos starve lord, man.
Wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah. But Shadow seems to be reformed. Like he's got a high income score. His tactician looks kind of socially acceptable. Um, Maybe he's gone for a bit of a transition. Like we know Shadow as being the ultimate starver. He's kind of got that reputation, but he seems to be trying out a new, more income heavy type of playstyle. So we'll have to see which Shadow Wings turns up for the game today. Is it going to be the Starve Lord or is it going to be the kind of income scaler? That'll be quite an interesting one to watch.
Always great to have your opponent guessing what's gonna come their way.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. And Shay, of course, is pretty similar playstyle to Shadow, I would say. Quite, or at least the old Shadow. Like he's quite starve heavy, quite tactically focused on the game, always looking for those big breaks with the big sends. Mimic or Ogre on 7, Ghost Knight on 8, that kind of thing. Pretty hallmark of their gameplay. But again, if Shadow's on its redemption arc, anything can happen. We'll have to see what type of game plan these guys bring to the game today. Whereas for the other team, I can't remember the name of that team. Can you remind me?
I can't remember, no.
Oh, cool, 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 cool. We'll just have to call it Julian Sucks then.
Oh
So for
yeah.
the Julian Sucks team, I do expect a lot more income type playstyle because Burnt is certainly more of an income player on the, or at least on the ladder. But then maybe that's because he just wants to sell me out when we play duo. But no, no. To be fair, he's a lot more income heavy. He likes to go for that kind of mid to late game scaling, turn his build into a powerhouse, and kind of outplay his opponents in the late game. Quacker, I haven't actually seen him play for a while, but I feel like he's probably somewhere in the middle of the two teams. He's not quite as income focused as Burnt. He's not quite as star focused as the Canadian duo. So a bit of a mid ground there. But again, we'll just have to see what these teams bring to the table.
Yeah, it's always great to have a person who can do a bit of both.
Yeah,
Like you
100%.
want to starve some games, you want to get income other games, depends on the role.
Do you know what income is, by the way? Because I looked at your profile earlier and it doesn't look like you do.
Yeah, income, that's something your teammate, they just feed and feed and feed, and then you lose the game because the opponent gets a free push.
Yeah. All right, there is a lobby open. It's in Shadowwing's name, so we can join that.
Alright, that's good to know.
And we
Oh,
are
there are
in.
many games right now. There we go.
All right, Right, I'm just asking the teams if they have some kind of embargo agreement. For anyone in the chat who doesn't know, there is some sort of weird bug with the embargo spell at the moment. We're not entirely sure what causes it, but sometimes you just can't pick the spell, basically. Even if you haven't sent any Mythium or done the king up on wave 11, you just can't pick embargo. And it seems to be possibly triggered by doing king ups on wave 10, but we're not 100% sure. So the rule around the embargo spell is by default, just no change. And if it happens to bug, tough luck, you can't remake. But if the teams want to agree with each other, either one, nobody picks it even if it shows up, or two, if it shows up, they just remake the match instantly. Then that's up to the teams to decide. So Shadowwings is saying that they would like to have it available still, so it looks like they're going for a default play, which means we can basically just ignore everything that I just said. All right. So we have got a minute or two before the match starts. How are you enjoying your profile picture, by the way, on the caster bio? Because it took me minutes to set that up.
Oh yeah, you must have spent an awful lot of energy to make that one. I think it's great.
Yeah.
It sums me up perfectly well. I'm a bit sad you had to point out the Windhawk, but
Yeah. I was looking through your profile, and Windhawk is your most played opener. I think it's only like 1 or 2 games ahead of second place. But man, 36% win rate with your favorite opener. Like, have you maybe considered playing something that you're not shit with?
well, now I did. I didn't know it was that bad.
So why do you struggle with the Windhawk so much?
I have no idea. I think I've been playing it a lot lately. Maybe that's. I've just been really bad lately. So
Have you been on a bit of a downward spiral? Have you? It happens to the
Yeah.
best of us, my friend.
I think I lost like 250 rating in a couple of days.
Oh, really? Yeah, that kind of hurts. I have those.
Yeah.
I have those tilt sprees, you know, where I play badly for a day, I lose a couple hundred elo, and then it takes me like 2 weeks to earn it all back, slowly. But that's Legion, you know.
Yeah,
Play when you're in a bad mood and risk throwing it all down the drain.
definitely. At least I'm low enough rated to not have to climb the ladder 5 points at a time.
All right, I'm not entirely sure what the teams are doing. It looks like they said a couple of minutes, but that was a couple of minutes ago. All right, no changes, says Shay, so they'll just play with embargo if it's in the game. Okay. So I'm just letting the players know that we're ready when they are, and hopefully we can actually get a game before it's time for the June Nova Cup, because these guys are kind of hanging around a bit right now. But that's fine. The casters, we just love to pad, right, Skov?
Yes, we do. We do enjoy these moments of downtime to talk about how shit of a player we are.
Although I hit my my second season goal a few weeks ago. I actually got my pack leader skin, which is a really nice one, by the way. Like
that is really cool.
The pack leader of the Horde, kind of a throwback to the old Warcraft 3 days.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a really nice skin.
That's pretty cool. I love being reminded of the good old Warcraft 3 Legion ZD.
Yeah. Back in the day.
That was a blast.
Back in the days when I still had all my hair and I could stand up without my knees creaking, you know. Good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
Good times indeed. I figured I'd bring enough hair for the both of us today.
I mean, dude, you've done a fantastic job there. Kind of cosplaying Jesus, maybe, but Hawaiian Jesus with the shirt.
Hawaiian Jesus. That's what they call me out in town.
Yeah. Come on, guys. Everyone in Twitch chat is waiting for you.
Well, it's a good thing. This is very, very interesting to watch.
Yeah. And do you have a favorite out of these two teams? Like, if you had to bet money, which of these would you think is going to come out on top?
I mean, the Julian team has the best name, right? So
Julian sucks, yeah?
no, I don't think it was Julian Sucks. I mean, the Sucks part was right, but I think it was some other player.
Penny sucks. Oh, man.
Oh yeah.
Illegal. Illegal, I tell you.
Wait, the truth is illegal? Alright, here we go.
Okay, Twitch chat, thank you for putting up with my ramblings for the last 10 minutes. The players have decided it is finally time to start the game. So here we go. It's May and Nova Cup. The first game of the first series. It's the Speedrunners versus Penny Sucks. Let's go.
Shadows has my style. He goes Nubo wings in his tagline. I love that.
Oh, it looks like the devs have patched the spectator UI and it's now absolutely massive. So just give me 2
yeah.
seconds to fix that. Maybe you can talk about the masterminds for us, Scov.
So far we've seen Dark Quack on redraw with Julian and Fiesta, and we have Shia with Cartel and Shadowing as cash out. So it's gonna be 4 different legions here. It's gonna be interesting to see if Quacker just goes for a really safe roll. Now he has the option to reroll all the time, but it looks like he's gonna open with a gate guard. We have Julian with the Angler, which is interesting on a Fiesta. But I mean, oh, Quacker just changed it. He's gonna go with Elite Archer and a bus.
Very nice. I don't think that's correct, to be honest. I would have thought something like a gate guard is probably better for covering. Like if you're planning to be overbuilt, then any kind of summoner is going to give you the most value, right? At least
Yeah,
I would think so.
definitely.
And Burnt Dasbrot just proving why their team name is incorrect. He's opening Fiesta, but he's starting with a casket and an angler. Maybe 2 of the worst Fiesta units in the game.
Yeah, I mean, he's not gonna be leaking anything for the first couple of waves.
Yeah. And we have a Crusher start on Shadow Wings with cash out. So that's a really nice, fast and aggressive 6-worker opener. We do expect him to push the 6th worker here. And he skipped wave 1, by the way.
Yeah, so he's gonna be able to send.
He's got good pressure
40.
against Burnt.
He built the Crush up far enough back that he's gonna be able to send 40 before wave ends, right?
Oh, but he's actually not going for 6 workers because Dark Quacker skipped wave 1 as well. So Shadow now forced to
interesting.
overbuild a little bit, it seems.
But he has the Ranger, so he'll just.
Yeah, he just needs to
Put
make
that
sure he
one
gets
down.
that positioning right, and it looks good there. That's a very good range circle with the Bone Crusher just on the outside. He should get really good focus here and be more than fine. Meanwhile, the DT against Burnt. I mean, Burnt doesn't add anything here, but the casket
No,
is
but
so
it's-
good on wave 2.
It's gonna be fine. The Angler's tanking just a little bit, maybe a little
Yeah.
bit too much
Yeah,
actually.
he's tanking a bit too much. Yeah, he's not going to
Yeah,
get many
actually,
stacks.
Yeah, no, he didn't get any stacks.
Does it kill the wave, or does it? I think it leaves it all on like 1 HP. So he
Oh,
is
it
going to
does.
leak there. 75% burnt to a dragon turtle on 2. I mean, yeah, he's Fiesta, but 75 is a lot of percentages.
Yeah, that's not exactly what you wanna see.
Yeah.
Well, then the Archer is good at clearing it.
And you have to imagine as well that a better player would have just held there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, imagine putting the Angler square back.
Yeah. Or just
Then it
keeping
tanks
it
just
alive.
a little bit, and then it gets to hit everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, Burnt just really proving a point here as to why he sucks so much. And we have a
Definitely.
fairly big send. Well, I say a big send, a 60 send coming out into Shay, who did stay 4 workers actually. So 3 snails and a king up. He will be able to hold that with his crazy high value.
Yeah. And he just gets to go 6 workers instantly. I mean, it's not a lot Mythium lost. I think it's worth it to stay 4 workers here.
Do we have a small leak from Quacker? We do. A very low HP Lizard, just elongating the waves a little bit here, which is pretty good for him actually while he's on 7 workers.
Definitely. They are one worker ahead, but we do see a pretty good push here out of both teams. I see Shadowings built Daphne and then decided not to.
Changing his mind. I think the Daphne's probably better than a Pilgrim, though, to be honest, because he's not really splitting the wave very much, right?
No, and he's not weak on wave 5, but he is a bit weak on wave 4. And here comes.
Oh, I say that. He actually gets a really nice aggro split. Shadow! Remind me not to doubt this man. He builds the Pilgrim and he gets really maximum value here. Look at this
Yeah,
crazy three-way aggro split.
that is
Absolutely
really good.
fantastic.
That's exactly what you want to see, and now he can just push hard because he's so strong for wave 5.
Yeah.
And I just gotta be concerned for wave 6.
Wow. That was beautiful. I need to take a screenshot of this build, man. That was really impressive.
Is he gonna yeah, he's gonna push 8 and then shift a bit for the antler.
And if we look at Burnt Das Broat's lane, he's looking really bad on wave number 6. He does
yeah.
have a Berserker in his role, but it looks like he's going to struggle to afford that. He's not shifting any gold here.
And see, Shadow doesn't have the most myth, but he could probably, if he wants to. Can he get the second brood after income? Maybe not.
It's going to be close. Is there any leaks this wave? No. Quacker's going to hold, right? And Burnt, he's obviously holding as well. So he's just going for income, actually. And this is what I was talking about before the game. Like, Shadowwings is going for his income arc at the moment, it seems.
I mean, I think it's the right choice in the current state of the game. We need more income.
Burnt is feeling the pressure. But do you know what? I think he's going to leak just to this income send from Shadowwings. His build is super bad on wave 6.
Yeah, he's all pierce and weak armor. Like, the only good thing he has is the serpent.
Yeah.
And then I suppose the 2 bone warriors, but what does 30 gold worth of tier 1 unit mean in wave 6?
Exactly. Now, Shay and Shadow, they both receive 100 send as well, but they're both looking pretty solid on this wave. The player that we really need to worry about is Burnt Das Broat, and with good reason. It looks like he's going for a pretty big leak here. Yeah.
And a dino.
71% on 6. And again, Fiesta, sure. But remember, his only leaks so far this game have been 75% on 2, and now 71% on 6.
Yeah.
Really not ideal.
And Quacka is not covering this. He killed 1.
Yeah. So they're going to take.
I mean, sure, it's not a full HP creeps going down there, but
this is first blood going over to the side of the speedrunners. And Shadowing, sensing blood, is going for resends. Just look at the workers on the speedrunners, by the way. We've got 10 and 11 against the 8 and 9.
They're pulling ahead.
They're really pulling ahead. And the Fiesta player, the lowest workers in the game, Burnt Das Broat.
You don't want to see that. I mean, Julian is going to hold this. There's an Iron Maiden.
Yeah, for sure, he's going to hold this, but he's just so far behind, right?
Yeah.
And what does he have to do? I mean, he's going to get the Bounty Hunter upgraded for 8, I guess. Yeah, he needs to fit a Kingpin in at some point.
Did he go? Yeah, he has three anglers. Or, well, 2 anglers and a bounty.
Quacker obviously very easily holding the Cannoneer send with his Trinity Archer. And Burnt, did his bounty survive? It did, so it did at least get all of the wave 7 stacks. Now we see him upgrade the second Bounty Hunter, so he's starting to farm that mana.
Yeah.
I guess that's his one saving grace, right? Because just look at the power scores over on the right there. Burnt Das Broat clearly where he belongs, at the very bottom of the table. But his one kind of silver lining in the cloud is that when he upgrades those Bounty Hunters into Kingpins, he will get a bit of a power spike.
Yeah, but like they aren't stacked that much. You need to have a Bounty Hunter upgraded for F7 in my opinion. And like a full stack angler that's upgraded.
Yeah.
And speedrunners could come 9 and the the Julian Zerg team doesn't have much in way of units for 9. I mean, sure, Quacker can get a Harbinger. Oh, they don't come here.
They don't come here. Burnt does get his first Kingpin upgraded, only 94 mana on that one. And he's really paying the price for that Angler dying so quickly on wave number 2, wave number 4, because you would expect something that was an Angler on wave 1 to be well over 100 mana by the time you get to wave 9.
Yeah, he would have had what 118 stacks here.
Yeah.
If it had survived wave 2.
So expensive mistakes there by the Burnt. Now, only income sends going out against Shadowwings and Shay, so these guys are both going to be completely fine here, I believe. One other thing to consider, actually, is that Shay is playing Cartel, so he is going to get that punishment kicking in a couple of waves' time.
But that Cartel punish is just going to bring him down into line with all the rest of the players, so...
Yeah.
Oh, they actually go? No, that's Quacker
They're
and Julia that
skipping wave
goes
10
here.
as well.
Yeah, of course they skip because there's... I mean, there's Titan, but then there's Overwork and All-Out Assault.
Yeah, so expect... Having said that, though, if the Canadian duo pick like a double all-out assault play, and then with Shay taking the Cartel punishment, his income's going to be really hurting, right? He's going to lose
I mean,
36
All-Out
income for
Assault
Cartel.
is a net income gain, though.
I mean, sure, but I think he's going to be behind. So they need to get a lot of damage done with this all-out assault play on 11.
But I think they can.
I think they can as well.
There is no magic damage.
Burnt does have
look-
two
look.
Kingpins up, of course, but they're not amazing on wave 11.
Oh. Do we have... I think we might see Shadow League a little bit here. No, the Daphne is too strong. That would have been great. Yay, with the Ram.
Oh, it is an overwork play from Shadow. Now, Shay hasn't picked yet, which says to me that he's going to go for all-out assault.
Yeah, if you want to go Overwork, you're spamming the button almost.
Yeah. Okay, only
But I
Snail
really like the
Sons coming
overwork.
out from Burnt and Quacker, so free income for Shadow and Shay. Shay, he does take the all-out assault. It looks like he's going to go for something like a pack leader, I would guess. And there it is. There's the pack leader. Pretty strong on wave 11 if you have a big tank to hide behind.
And he does.
And he does. The biggest tank, nearly.
Almost. I mean, it's probably the biggest tank in this situation, right?
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, he's got some pretty good
Oh,
focus,
look at
though.
the Trinity.
Yeah, the Trinity. It did kill a few creeps in the wave, though. Maybe
Yeah,
the
but-
best case scenario there for Quacker, because if it was on the Ram, he just would never kill it. Oh, no!
He didn't kill the Ram, though.
Quacker leaks the Ram on 3 HP. That's so painful for him. Now, Burnt, it looks like he's not going to cover. That's a 46% leak on him. Like, he did do very well. Give him credit where due. But this is a lot of damage now coming in for the side of Penny Sucks.
I mean, you must hate to see it.
Yeah, and it looks like the speedrunners, the thing that they were aiming to speedrun, it seems, is their opponent King's health pool.
And that they've done 45% after wave 11.
Yeah.
That is strong.
But, one thing that is definitely worth pointing out is that Shay's income is really starting to suffer. So he is now the lowest income in the game. That will slowly creep up on him. Having said that, they are on a decent chunk more workers than their opponents.
Yeah, they should be able to pull ahead in income soon enough.
The other thing worth pointing out as well is that Burnt did get his Fiesta Gold last wave, right? We're just trying to...
Oh yeah. He leaked
find the
3 times.
positives.
And he didn't leak that badly on
No,
11, to be honest.
He did really well, actually. It was a 60% leak against a massive send. But the fact that Quacker leaked 130% clearly meant they took a large amount of king damage there.
Yeah. I wonder how much the game has evolved since 2 months ago when we last caster together, and almost all the games ended on wave 14. You think we're gonna see a repeat of that?
I think probably not 14. Looking at these builds, Burnt is pretty good there. Quacker's also pretty good there, to be honest. I would think the Canadian duo might go back to their roots and go for a long save, maybe 15, maybe even 16. Although 16 can be rough with Quacker having the honey flower.
Well, he has one honey flower right now. And he's not gonna build more before wave 16, so it's
Yeah.
not gonna be that strong, I think.
It's too risky for him to do that, right?
Yeah, I mean, if he starts building up for those, they just go 15, and
Well, Shadowwings and Shay, they both have a lot of Mythium in the bank, so I could see the 14 play that you're suggesting. You know, we've got nearly 500 on Shadow, just over 400 on Shay. Do they go for it?
Nope.
No, they don't. Okay, they continue to save. But it does definitely seem like Shadow and Shay are in the driving seat right now, and Burnt and Quacker are maybe being forced to play the game that they want to play rather than the game that Penny Sucks themselves want to play. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean, yeah. But, I mean, everybody's just holding.
Everybody's
We see
holding.
speedrunners a little bit of king up here.
Yeah, so they are feeling a little bit pressured, and if we look at the values, I can understand why. But this kind of nervous king up play might just give Burnt and Quacker the little bit of leeway that they need, you know, because it's
Yeah.
only 100 Mythium each, but that's still 100 Mythium that they can't send now on wave 15 or 16.
And we do see the speedrunners being 200 value behind in total.
Yeah.
But, alright, here everybody goes.
Here comes the 15 send. Do
Ooh.
Penny Sucks go for the send of their own? And they do, and it's a full
Oh,
send.
they do. Yeah, it's...
So they're not just playing to survive, they're actually playing to try and get some damage done here, which I do think is the correct decision.
The ogre out of shadow, that's...
That's an interesting one.
Did he mean to do that?
He may have misclicked which? I don't know though. I don't know how bad it is because it should go right here. It is going to obliterate this casket.
Yeah.
And then maybe it even pulls one of these caskets from the left-hand side, in which case it would be amazing.
That is true. Maybe Shadow's just next level.
We'll have to see how this aggro works. If these caskets
Yeah.
go onto the ogre, and okay,
No,
looks like
the
everything goes
ogre-
onto the ogre, so it just dies very quickly.
The ogre just went on the phoenix, and everything went on the ogre.
Yeah. Now we got
How much damage
560
is
here. Oh, interestingly as well, the speedrunners actually managed to send more Mythium here on wave 15,
Yeah, they
even
were
though they
ahead.
did king ups last wave.
They were ahead with their king ups, but
Julian, though, Burnt Das broke with the clutch hold here on wave 15.
that phoenix was massive.
Yeah, absolutely huge. The Phoenix surviving with the Titan there. That is very, very solid. Both Shadowwings and Shay leak pretty decent amounts here. They're taking a ton of king damage. Now, Julian, he couldn't full cover on the right-hand side, so these guys take a bit of king damage as well. But now they're pretty much neck and neck. They're 41% for the speedrunners, 33% for Penny Sucks. But those guys have some regen as well. This is going to be neck and neck in a couple of waves' time.
Yeah, that it is. This game is close again. That's why I think like they should have gone for 14. I don't know. It might have been the same situation with the leagues and the hold, but then they would have gotten the income gold a week way earlier, and they would have gotten the league gold as well to hold 15. And I think they'd be great 16. So, and then they would have more myth for a 17 cent where they could finish it off. Because the problem is the Phoenix.
Yeah.
And the Phoenix is not a problem on 17.
No, I need to shout something out right here because if you look at the situation we've got in front of us, Burnt and Quacker, they both shifted around 300 gold, while Shadowwings and Shay full pushed, it looks like. So, Burnt and Quacker are trying to bait ascend on 17 that they're planning to save past, but Shadowwings and Shay, they're going all in here. So, yeah, Burnt and Quacker, you're going to bait the send.
I mean,
but
it
I
has
think
to be
there's
the
a...
17 cent. Do you see how much, like, Burnt has the Phoenix, which is a ton of magic damage, and Quacker has 4 orchids.
Yeah,
as well as the gargoyles. The only
but
good unit Quacker has is the Banana Haven,
I mean
and I suppose the Trinity Archer.
they've successfully baited the send. I just don't know if they can survive it. Like these guys, Shadow and Shay, they pushed pretty hard. There's a lot of Mythium that's going to walk into the lane now, and Burnt's building a Fatalizer here, which is pretty garbage on 17.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
Oh, Shadow's actually full suicide pushing. So 760 Mythium for Burnt, 600 for Quacker, and Burnt is just getting run over, it seems. That Phoenix, how long can it survive? Actually, it's
Long
smurfing.
time.
It's
That
absolutely
Phoenix.
smurfing. I think there's only one more dragon.
Alright,
Oh, but it dies! Oh
there it
no!
dies. But
Quacker, let's
the
have a look at this lane. It looks like he is going to leak. And Burnt, he's leaking
yeah,
as well.
that's
This is
over.
game.
Alright, they managed to make it interesting, but Shadows and Shay were too far ahead from the get-go.
Yeah. Really interesting dynamic there with Burnt and Quacker trying to bait the 17 send. But Shadow and Shay had already pushed hard for this wave.
They wanted to win this wave, and they did.
They did. Really well played there for Shadow Wings and Shay. Very nice game. And it was back and forth, right? Like, they had a pretty good lead in the early game on the side of the speedrunners, but it seemed that Penny Socks were just managing to come back into the game with this really huge hold by Burnt on wave 15. And then
Yeah,
the
I
game
mean-
was neck and neck, and it just came down to this decision, right? With Shadow and Shay pushing hard, and Burnt and Quacker saving their Mythium, ultimately killing themselves in the process.
If Shadows and Shay hadn't been so much ahead before wave 15, I definitely see Julian and Quacker winning.
Yeah.
But the problem is, even with Julian's massive hold on 15, they only managed to put themselves on even footing after that,
Yeah.
or barely even footing.
But if Julian didn't hold there, they would have just lost on 15, right? But this at least
Yeah.
gave them a chance in the game. The problem is there was then a little error in judgment, right? They thought they could save past wave 17, and let me tell you, Skov, they could not save past wave 17.
They could definitely not save past 17.
They
But I
could
think
not.
again, Shadows, it's only Gates, but he has 3 of them with a white main for
Yeah.
17. So they might have realized that they don't stand a chance in the race anyway, so they might just wanna try and press
I
their
mean,
luck, test their luck.
It's
see
a
if they
hard
can-
it's a hard call to make, right? Because Burnt and Quacker, they don't know that Shadow and Shay are both like pretty much suicide pushing for this wave 17 send. So we can see that if they send, they definitely turn it into a race because Shadow and Shay are going to die to ascend on 17 as well. Like if you look at their value, Shadow had something like 3.2k
Yeah.
value on wave 17. He's
Yeah,
leaking.
he was way below.
He's leaking to Drake's. And Shay was only like 3.8, 3.9k as well. So even though they would send less Mythium, I think it's definitely a race on 17. I just don't know which team wins it there.
I think Shay is really strong. Like the 2 Vulcan cannons.
Yeah.
They just shred the wave.
Yeah. But he's also 800 value less than Burnt. So it's a tough one. But it doesn't matter. We're just talking hypotheticals right now because Burnt and Quacker, they teeheed, they saved their Mythium, and ultimately they paid the price.
They did. Let's see what they can do in game 2. I mean, they're definitely strong players. But then
Yeah.
again, so are Shadow and Shay.
They need to try and stay cool now, though, right? Because it's always a bit rough when you lose game number 1. You're going to be feeling a little bit on edge, you know, your nerves are shot. And they need to try and keep a cool head and come back into this game number 2, you know, wipe that one from your memory, pretend it never happened, and just give game number 2 your all. Start from fresh.
Yeah. Definitely.
Speaking of game number 2, let's
Julian
go.
is cash out straight away, and Quacker is greed. No
Alright.
more interesting Fiesta redraw combo. But then again, it didn't work out that well, so I can't say I hate the decision.
Yeah, and we have cash out for Shay as well. And Shadow, he's still deciding he's going for Chaos, actually.
Oh, my boy.
This is an interesting tech because Burnt Dasbrot famously tilted any time that he sees a Chaos player in his game. So maybe Shadow's just going for some emotional damage here in game number 2.
Oh, that would be strong. And what's he got? He can go with Sakura, or he can go. No, that's not right. That was Shay. Took a bit of time for Shadow's roll to pop up in
Yeah.
the overlay.
Is Shadow just teasing me with this Badger here? He's going to do something like Badger start? Not go full
Oh,
suicide, but just add something to kill the Scorpion on 5. All right, we
let's
have.
build the Badger.
Do you want to know something fun about the Sakura start now with Cash Out?
Yeah.
So when Cash Out was nerfed from 22 gold to 21 gold, Sakura no longer gets the 4th worker before Wave 2 starts.
Oh.
So that 1 gold is actually really impactful because it's like a 25 seconds Mythium generation that you miss out on.
That is pretty impactful. But I don't mind that. I love to see Sakura nerfs.
Yeah, it's a pretty smart nerf actually. Obviously only matters when you're playing Cash Out with Sakura. But yeah, look at this. So Shay now with 49 gold, just sat there wishing he could press the worker button.
I mean, in those kind of cases, you might want to just press snails.
I mean, yeah, but you don't get it, right?
No, yeah, like if you send
Oh,
snails and then
send
hope.
it on wave 1 and just hope to
Yeah,
get a leak. Yeah, I
yeah.
like that. I like that.
But we saw king up from every player at wave 1 this game.
Yeah.
So Shay's Sakura should be more than safe here.
All right. Burnt sending me some Badger copy pasta. Very interesting. Shadow did stay. Oh, I say he stayed 4 workers. Of course, he couldn't afford the 5th with that Badger opener, but he did
That's how
add.
Badger works.
That's how Badger works. He did add a seedling as well. Now he gets the Angler down, which is good to get it on wave 3, actually. That's quite a lucky Chaos roll there, because wave 3, of course, with the 18 creeps, he's going to get a ton of stacks here.
Yeah, we love the wave 3 anglers as KS.
Mm-hmm.
And look how he
Interesting.
positions it. He puts the square back so it stays alive better.
I mean, he saw how badly it worked out for Burnt in game number 1, but
Well,
actually,
the problem is it's wave 3,
he-
so the creeps are coming in slower.
he played it safe, and his Angler still got absolutely decimated by the wave.
You hate to see that.
Yeah, unlucky there, Mr. Shadowwings. Of course, he's not in danger of leaking, but he just loses out on so many stacks because of that. Now, what I wanted to say was that Burnt did not send on wave 3 into the Sakura of Shay. He's instead going for the 100 send on wave 4, which I think is quite a lot harder normally for the Sakura build to be able to hold. But Shay has got a Serpent, which is pretty good on wave 4.
Yeah. I mean, I think after people have learned Sakura, there's just no way that you break them, 3 or 4.
Yeah. I think 3 is usually pretty difficult to break unless you can get 2 Dragon Turtles there.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes people will just add a single seedling and then you can break him with 1 snail and a turtle.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
So
look at the
the
serpent.
is getting killed
But it doesn't
pretty
matter.
quickly. Yeah, I mean, the Sakura just has way too much HP now. The DT is not even tanking. Yeah, he's just
Two-shotting the
easily
wave.
clearing up there. And Quacker did leak actually to the 80 send here from Shay. Not too
And that was just
small.
a turtle and a snail. It wasn't even it was just a 60 cent.
Yeah,
Because there was a king up in there.
and he leaks
And
pretty good.
Like, I always try to send full 80 or maybe 100 in wave 4 against the priestess, but they never leak. And then we see in tournament games here, they just leak. What is this?
He has got pretty bad units to cover that wave 4. To be fair, he only has impact units.
Well, he has a Bone Warrior. That could have been a Fire Archer. Then he holds, I think.
Alright, everybody chilling with their Mythium here on wave number 5, so not expecting too much action now. And again, Sculptural, we see the speedrunners are starting to pull ahead in terms of workers. We've got 7 for Shadow, 8 for Shay, and sure, Burnt is keeping up with Shadow, but Shay's 2 workers ahead of Quacker.
Yeah, that 58% league on wave 4 is gotta hurt. Let's see. Shadow with the Dino, Quacker with the Fiend. But Shadow goes for the the Deep Coiler.
Yeah, Deep Coiler.
And sure, the Badger is bad as Arcane, but it has so much HP and it is impact, so it still does something on wave 6. It's not terrible. I mean, sure, I guess it runs into a Fiend, so it doesn't do that much. But the Coiler will live for days.
Now, Burnt receiving a Dino and a King up, he's going to be more than fine. And Shadow, of course, very fine with that Fiend send. And he can push pretty hard now if he wants to.
Yeah, he's so strong, 7 and 8.
How stacked is his Angler? Only 48
Not very.
stacks, actually.
Yeah.
So he's quite happy not to upgrade that now on wave 7.
But he does
upgrade it. I don't know about that.
I don't like that. I wouldn't do that. I mean,
yeah, like just keep it as an Angler. Maybe put the cat stacks instead.
Yeah. It's you can get a fully stacked cat, which will leave the bounty or the Angler to get many more stacks here. I don't like this.
Now Quacker does get his Millennium here. He's thinking he's getting a big send from Shay, but it's only income. So Quacker stayed super low workers this far into the game so that he can hold an income send on his strongest wave. This is not looking too great for Mr. Quacker.
Oh.
What's happening over here?
It's good that he stayed low worker because his build didn't work out this game or this wave. Sure, the Millennium stays alive, but
he's gonna hold, right? Or is the Cannoneer gonna make it through?
No, he's gonna hold.
Shay does leak there, and that was an income send as well. So that's looking pretty solid. And yeah, Quacker does hold. So I guess you were right. He did need to stay low workers. But maybe it would have been more value for him to push 1 or 2 and leak part of the wave, you know? I don't know.
I guess with the leak from Shay, he lost out on 1 stack on the bounty, so it doesn't change that much, I suppose.
Yeah. Shadowwing's just playing 4D chess. He knew his teammate was going to leak, so he didn't need to try and greed the Angler stacks.
I mean, Shay is Sakura. Of course he's going to leak on wave 7.
Yeah. And he might just leak on wave 8 as well. There is a couple of Dragon Turtles coming out from Mr. Burnt. Does he achieve the 3rd? He did. It looked like he did get it in time, but he didn't send it.
I think the Sakura just tanks perfectly here.
Yeah, that looks really good, actually. Very nice focus there for Mr. Shay. And this is it gonna keep him alive? His Coiler is going down, but the focus is just perfect for him.
Wow.
Could not ask for better aggro there. Shay holding. And I think if Burnt had sent the 3rd Dragon Turtle, he would have leaked.
I think so too. But he was just a little too late.
Now, again, if we look at the workers, we do see Shay and Shadow slightly ahead of their counterparts on Team Penny Sucks. And they're saving their Mythium, so there's another income send here from Team Penny Sucks, but the speedrunners are going to just easily hold, I think.
Yeah, look at Shay. They're a worker ahead, and Shay has the Candy Pixies as well.
Mm-hmm. So the 3 Dragon Turtles just going to guarantee that both of his Pixies die. Not that there was ever any doubt on that front.
They were dead regardless. He might actually leak here. I think he might get overrun.
He's got some pretty... Yeah, his Sakura dies really quickly. He is going to
Yeah.
leak, but it's honestly not bad. Like, he's not on fire. This is giving them a
No.
long wave. It's only 50%. Shadow Wings, of course, is holding. He's even going to full
Yeah.
cover this. They won't take any
Yeah.
king damage.
That's so good. He has it, and his bounty stacks as well. So yeah, this is a great win. Look at Shay being 6 workers ahead of Quacker.
Yeah, that's really
Shadows and
looking rough.
Julian being even, but Quacker's
We have a
basically out of this game.
We have a Ghost Knight coming out from Shay into Quacker. Now, sure, I mean, actually, yeah. I was going to say, the Ghost Knight is not great against an Azeria, but it is fantastic against literally everything else on Quacker's board. Because
It
he
is
only has...
terrible against the Assyria.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be pretty rough, I think, for Quacker.
And Penny with the
Alright.
Kingpin here.
Yeah. I think Shay, he will leak because he's on 1200 value on 10 with the Sakura. But this is going to be a decent chunk of king damage now. The Millennium going down for Quacker. Burnt, he did get those Daphnes out, so he's at least doing pretty well. He's killed all of the 7s. Shay leaking 45%, Quacker leaking 63%, Burnt leaking 30%. Actually, the fact that Burnt did so well is going to minimize the amount of damage they take here. That's pretty clutch.
Yeah, but this is only going to mean that their situation is terrible and not horrible.
Yeah, they're still so far behind in terms of workers. Look, Quacker on 11, Shay on 21. Dude, I think it's been a while. 22. Okay, I was going to say, it's been a while since we saw someone double their opponent's workers on Wave 11 in a Nova Cup. But we've seen it here today. The speedrunners, they are not messing around. They're going fast and aggressive. They pick the overwork. They push really hard. Shay, of course, will leak here on Wave 11. That's without a doubt. Shadow hoping he can cover there with the Lifesteal Kingpin. And they're going to have an enormous amount of Mythium to send on Wave 12.
Yeah, and Penny Sucks is just really bad on 12. I suppose the Trent can go Tree of Knowledge and be decent for 12, but it's still put in a tanking position, so it's gonna die too soon for it to really stack mana.
Yeah. And Quacker does have Boar in his role, so he has something at least. But I think he's going to need that Azeria to do some magic if he wants any hope of holding Wave 12. Now, I think they know the play that has happened here. They must know that this was an overwork play from the speedrunners. So do expect to see Team Penny Socks go for the Income King play here.
I mean, they have to. But let's see. Let's see what's happening.
These sends are absolutely enormous.
Yeah,
there's the
Julian
Income
with
King.
the turtles. Quacker with a couple of dinos and a snail.
I mean, I think they need more than a couple of dinos to be able to survive this wave. They're going to need a bit of a prayer as well, I think. And we do have the double Tree of Knowledge that you were mentioning. They have the Magician Aura as well, so they will get to do a little bit of mana regeneration before they explode.
Yeah, but they are tanking initially.
Yeah.
But then again, they are the best thing to be tanking initially, I suppose.
And Quacker does go for the Boar here and another Antler. So he's got really good tanks. He just doesn't have any damage this wave. And this Azeria is going to need to do some serious heavy lifting here. It does have Titan, which makes that possible. She's still alive for now. Not really in danger of going down, it seems. Although now tanking an Ogre... Oh, she's getting overwhelmed. Shay, of course, leaks everything because he basically suicide pushed.
Yeah.
Julian, though! Burnt Das Brot!
He is pulling through.
Yeah, he's doing some heavy lifting this series, it seems. He held that Wave 15 last game. He more or less holds this Wave 12 here, and as a result, they're not going to die here.
But does it matter that they don't die?
I mean, again, if you just look at the workers, Skov, we've got 24 for Shadow, 23 for Shay, and 13 workers on Dark Quacker. But very clutch there from Burnt Dasprote. Because that would have just been game
Yeah.
over if he did much worse than he did. Now Shadow Wings is on fire. It's only 25 gold, actually.
Yeah, Julian is seemingly keeping them in this game, but Quagga is so far behind, and Julian, well, he does have the Fire Lord. Maybe he can he do a 15 repeat of last game?
I mean, there's always the possibility because Phoenix is pretty cracked on 15, but it's not easy.
No.
Having said that, though, Quacker does have the Azeria. He also now has some workers for pretty much the first time this game.
But look at the income disparity.
Oh, and they're going for a 14 send. None of us really
Interesting.
expected this, although seeing Shay leak again here might prompt either a round of Income King from Penny Sucks, or they might try to go for a leak as well. Try and get some damage in.
What does Shay do?
They
Shay just
actually
screw-
save. I mean, it's a very bold decision there from Penny Sucks, but I think they might live to regret this one. Burnt will be overvalue, and we do have a Doomsday here for Quacker, with 2 Dark Mages as well to buff the Doomsday and another. But he's really undervalued. He's minus 400 here. He's receiving 2 Ogres, maybe a Mole as well from Shay.
Let's see what Shay goes for. He goes for the mole.
He does go for the Mole, yeah. Now, Azeria, again, it really needs to outperform this wave if Quacker wants any chance of holding.
Oh,
and it
what's
looks
going
like
on
this
with it?
time it is. Bit of a lag there.
It lives.
It lives.
For
Now,
now.
does the Doomsday tank? It tanks a little,
Oh, and
not
it
enough.
lives enough to get another spell, and that
really
keeps
clutch.
it alive.
And Burnt
That keeps
full
it-
holds. He full holds the 500 send.
And so does Shay.
Wow, okay, Quacker. Man, I was just about ready to write these guys out of game number 2, and then they have this magic hold on 14.
Yeah, this is insane.
All
What have we
right.
got? What's gonna happen now? Because now they hold their horses.
Well, look
And
up at
look at
the...
Shay, look at Shay for 16. He's terrible.
He's really bad on 16. I want to point out the win percent chances up at the top there. This is...
Yeah, I saw it. It went from 60-40 to just about even.
just about even. Now, that's Jules, his kind of automated formula that's saying it's looking at all of the gold and workers and king upgrades and health and all of those variables, and he's saying that this match is neck and neck.
Well, right now it is because Julian and Quack have 300 Mythium more than Shay and Shadow each.
Mm-hmm. They still need to get through 100% king HP, though, and that's hard to do with tenacity in the game.
Yeah, that's basically impossible in a 2-player game. That's how I play it anyway. Like, they have some king ups. Maybe with 0 king ups, they could die from 100 to 0. But once you hit that 97% damage reduction,
Yeah, it's rough.
and not a lot is alive at that point.
Shay's leaking here to no sense.
No, he's nothing. He's not.
Oh, very close, very close. Okay, Shadow and Shay, they do go for the income, so I expect to see them try and max that spell upgrade as well. So they're probably not going to die here on Wave 16, but Burnt and Quacker are about to earn themselves a ton of gold. Like a metric shit ton of gold is about to come their way.
I think Shadows and Shay should have held them. They shouldn't have income send. They should have just done 5 spell each, and then went for 18 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't die, and
Thi-
especially not with a full spell.
This is an interesting play. Okay, now they've upgraded both the spell and the attack, so they're just not leaving anything to chance. Shadow, Chaos rolling the Pyro for Wave 16.
Well, if anything's gonna tell Julian, it's gonna be that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. His Coiler is doing really good work on these witches as
Yeah.
well. That is one witch down. It'll die now.
Oh, it killed the witch just before it
I mean,
resummoned.
Shadow's just holding.
He's
Or
leaking a little bit.
yeah, okay, but very, very
they're
good
so
performance
low.
there. Shay leaking everything, Shadow leaking. I mean, it's a big percentage, but not really because everything's on 1 HP. It's all going to die to the first spell. Quacker leaks to
Lightning
income
hammer.
meanwhile. Alright. But they did get double shutdown, and they're also getting infinite gold here when the king takes 70% damage.
But look at
Okay.
this. The win rate after this wave shifted in favor of the speedrunners.
Yeah, back to 50-50 more or less. So neck
Yeah.
and neck. Burnt Das Brot leading the way in the power score. That's something he's never seen before in his Legion career.
I'd be surprised too if I were him. But look at these phoenixes. Like, when are people gonna send here? Is it gonna be 19?
I feel like they probably want to go for 19, but no, Quacker is suicide pushing. They're going to go for an 18 send.
I like that.
This has to be an 18 send now, but it's not easy to
Because-
break Shay either. He has got the Fatalizers with the White Mane, with the Sovereign. He's got solid tanks here.
I mean, if Julian does it well as well with the Phoenix again here.
Yeah.
Look at it. 136 HP. And it just lives.
This is going to be a race now because Quacker, of course, is going to leak. He actually stopped pushing, so he's going to build again on 18.
Oh, but
Oh,
Shadow's
Shadow's leaking the no send, and now Shadow
Oh,
is suicide
Shadow's
pushing.
also suicided, yeah.
Okay, this is
So-
getting spicy, Skov.
100% even workers here. But we do have Shadows, the suicide of speedrunners sending into the holder of Penny Sucks, which
Yeah.
is an advantage.
Yeah.
It
And
doesn't matter that how hard you pushed if you're sending into another suicider.
Burnt is so strong here, though. He's got 2 Arcters, 2 Yazoras, 2 Phoenixes.
And he's got 6.2k value.
Yeah, I mean, he's on value. But so
That
is
is
Shay.
insane.
So is Shay, we
Yeah,
have to
but
say.
Shay has no magic damage. I guess he does
He
have
has
3
Fatalizers, dude. He's pretty
That
good
is
on this
true.
wave.
That is true.
And a Sakura. Like, you can't underestimate the Sakura. But this is going to be so close. I'm going to have to zoom out and see how any of the players do. Quacker, of course, is going to leak everything because he suicide pushed. Same story for Shadow. So really, this is a race now between Burnt and Shay. Let's have a look. That Phoenix is
Burnt is
surviving
holding. Burnt is
a
full
very
holding.
long time. This is looking really good. Shadow, of course, leaks the entire wave. Quacker the same. And Burnt Das Brot pulling out another dream hold. Can anyone stop this guy? But so does Shay. So does Shay. So now it's one Phoenix to hold Quacker's league.
Look at the league on Shadow and look at the league on
Yeah, Shay has so many more units alive in mid. I mean, they're going to die quickly, but
is this enough to kill the king? No,
I don't think
don't
it
think so.
is.
No, I don't think so. So.
But on the
GG
left-hand side,
that is enough to kill the king.
wow, man, what a series!
That's insane.
Wow, that one was really back and forth. I mean, just look at this graph, Scott. You've got pretty much the entire game, the speedrunners are in the lead. And then a couple of key moments happen. You get this enormous hold on wave 14 from both Burnt and Quacker. And maybe that's the speedrunners just jumping the gun, right? They weren't really under pressure themselves, 14. Maybe they could have just saved another wave, maybe even straight 16, and just seal the deal against Burnt and Quacker. But I respect the play. They push hard. They try to go for the kill on 14. It doesn't work out, and that gives Penny Sucks an opening back into the game. They hold. They've got the Mythium advantage. They've got the pressure advantage. They get this enormous leak on 16, double shutdown, infinite gold in the mid, and really that is just getting these guys back into the game. You get huge holds from both Shay and Burnt on wave 18. But Burnt, you know, Quacker's leak was small enough, even though he kind of semi-suicide pushed, that it didn't kill their king from 40% HP. Can't say the same for the side of Shadow and Shay. Only 30% HP, and Shadow's leak was massive. So yeah, man, that was a game and a half, Scott.
It was indeed. That was back and forth.
Phew.
The other one was kind of back and then even, but
Yeah,
this one was insane.
kind of an interesting game plan so far from Team Penny Sucks, right? It seems that their normal plan of action is just to play really badly in the early game and fall way behind their opposition and then try to claw it back in the mid game. Like, do you think that's a smart game plan, or do you think that's like
I think it's too
mm,
risky. I don't like it.
yeah, like if they just played less like bronze players in the early game,
Yeah,
then they probably would have a much better match, right? Like it is, they
yeah,
kind of have to hold on with their fingertips. And, credit where due, they did capitalize on what was possibly a mistake by the speedrunners to send on wave 14. And that
yeah.
got them back into the game. Because without that,
Oh,
I think they were probably still doomed.
game
Um,
is up, by the way.
Game is up. Okay, let me hop into the lobby. So yeah, they were probably still doomed without that wave 14 send, but once it happened, they were able to capitalize.
Yeah. Also, I just looked at Shadow's send on wave 18, and it was kind of weird.
Oh really?
Yeah. I
What
think
what did he send?
he sent a Ghost Knight, a lot of turtles.
Okay.
I I would have really loved to see a
A few more
Kraken.
four rises or something. Oh, Kraken, yeah, double Kraken is good.
No, just a single Kraken, a four eyes, and I don't know, maybe double or triple four eyes.
Yeah. Maybe even some Centaurs or something. Like the only thing that you need to do against Burnt is break his Phoenixes, right? And his
Yeah,
Arcters. So you just need some damage that can get through those two Swift units.
yeah. That's why I would maybe love to see Needler.
Needler could
But
have
then,
been good. Yeah, Needler could have been pretty clutch. Needler, Four Eyes, just damage in general.
yeah. I mean, I suppose you do send a Shaman on 18, but maybe not when Swift is the problem.
Yeah, right. Because
I, th- I
why do you want to buff the impact damage of the wave
yeah.
when you just need to get through those big Swift tanks? Go for Needler,
I
go for Four Eyes. And Four Eyes in particular is like almost a needed send against Phoenix because you need to shred its mana, right?
yeah.
Because otherwise it just takes no damage.
I think Shaman is falling out of favor in my view.
Hmm.
Like even on 18 which is an elite wave.
All right, we're just waiting for these players to get the next lobby underway. Although I'm sure everybody in Twitch chat is absolutely loving to look at Skov's pretty face while they wait.
I can't like. I think after maybe the first time I streamed or something, I think it was Mr. Buzz who said, "What a pretty face go," or something like, "What the fuck."
I did see halfway through the previous game, someone in Twitch chat was saying, let me see if I can find the message. Skov has such a sexy voice. So you've got a fan there in the Twitch chat, it seems.
Oh boy.
All right, guys, game
All right.
number 3 is here. And straight away, Skov, what mastermind do we have picked up there by
We
Bone?
have Julian back to Fiesta.
Okay.
Shay on the YOLO. Everything's on the table here, and
And we
he
have...
goes YOLO.
Oh, and look at this, Skov. Despite the 50% reduced chance, Burnt Das Brot rolls the Pixie with the Fiesta in game number 3. Everything to play
Oh.
for. Man, that is fortunate.
And then we have Cartel on Quacker and Castle on Shadow. This is gonna be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Shay with the YOLO, how's he gonna survive the onslaught coming from Julian?
Yeah, playing Castle, receiving from Pixie Fiesta is pretty rough. And Shay, his YOLO roll is really not ideal, Scarf. Like, if I look at these units that he has here, he's really weak on 7. He's really weak on, okay, maybe not on 10 with that Halo, but 7, 8, 14. He's got some really big problems.
7, you hate to see it. I mean, there's one way he's gonna be strong on 7. That's the
Power of
Pilgrim
value.
upgrade. The Pilgrim upgrade and the Assyria. Can he do it?
That's going to be kind of tough.
I don't know exactly how he's gonna do it, but if he pulls it off,
Yeah.
that's amazing. But I mean, he can reroll on 5. At that point, the 1 income does not have that big of an impact. It's
Mhm.
just the first couple of waves where you really don't want to reroll, because the income is so good.
Yeah. Now, this is an interesting one as well, right? Because one, okay, very clean. I was about to flame burnt there if he managed to hold here with his Fiesta
No,
Pixies.
it never holds. It always leaks 1 creep like that.
I
On
swear I've seen it hold. But what I wanted to point out was that Shay did not send on wave 1. So Burnt forced to stay 4 workers even with his Fiesta Pixie build. And Shay's only sending him snails here.
Oh, is he gonna hold here? He did build the Ranger. The Ranger is really strong in
I
wave
think
2.
with the Ranger with 215 value, he's got a pretty good chance of just holding, yeah.
Yeah.
And Burnt now kicking himself for being such a filthy overbuilder.
Gonna be interesting to see if the Pixie lives, but no.
Well,
Is
the
it?
snail is
Oh,
not tanking at all.
Oh, it's tanking the Ranger.
He's just holding, and this pixie won't die.
He's
So
holding and the Pixie lives. Ow.
really punished there for his overbuild is Burnt Das Brot. He does now go to 6 workers, and now he's receiving that DT send from Shay, so he's gonna leak here for sure.
But then again, the turtle is gonna go right. The Pixies are gonna do their things, or the seedlings.
Mhm.
So the
Oh, look at this as well. So Burnt is going for, I believe, an 80 send against Burnt here on wave, against Shadow, sorry, on wave 3. No, he only goes for the 60, and about to be rewarded because Shadow has perfect units to hold here on wave 2, on wave 3.
and 4 workers.
Yep. The triple gargoyle, obviously the perfect tanks, but the seedling is
Yeah, the
really
seedling.
clutch paired with the nightmare. Nightmare now 2-shotting instead of 3-shotting the wave. It's basically a 50% DPS increase for 15 gold.
Yeah, that's insane. You really love to see that sort of thing. Like if it's a seedling or it's gonna be a mask or something.
Yeah. Those clutch interactions make Legion really interesting.
Indeed.
Now, Quacker able to fully cover Burnt's leaks in the mid.
Yeah, you really want to see a priestess as a
Oh,
Fiesta player or priestess teammate.
I just realised he's playing Potent Mask as well. I haven't been paying enough
Oh.
attention to the roles, but this is a dream role for Team Penny Socks on both players. Game number 3, everything to play for. We have Fiesta for the Pixie for the Fiesta player, and we have Priestess Mask for the covering Cartel player. This is about everything you could ask for.
I mean, does it get any more perfect than this?
Yeah.
I don't think it does.
They still need to be able to leverage their advantage, but it seems like Jules is smiling on Team Penny Sucks this game for sure. They have been given all of the luck in their favor. They just need to capitalize on it.
Small league, 38%. He's gonna be very happy with that. He's gonna get 12 Mythium from the Pixies. How much gold does he get? 18, 20 or something? That's about what he loses. But he's gonna give some gold to Quacker as well. And Shay with the 33% leak from a Turtle King up.
Yeah, I mean, he's leaking basically the same amount as Burnt, but of course, his leaks are much less rewarded. He doesn't get bonus Mythium, he doesn't get bonus gold. So, yeah. And look at Burnt's Mythium. 150 in the bag, not sending here on wave 5. I mean, when does he... Is he just going to go straight wave 7 against Shadow?
Oh, if he goes 7, that's because... Oh, why is Shadow doing that? Okay, I guess it's gonna be good for 6 and 7, I suppose. He sold a gargoyle to build a gate guard.
I mean, he's scared here, right? And with good reason.
Of course he is.
All right, Shay receiving a brute snail. He should be more than fine, I think, with all of these bucklers on the field and, of course, the priestess to dish out the damage. Meanwhile, if we look at Quacker, who received a cannoneer, he's doing just fine as well. Burnt leaks 50% to DT Snail, but he's very happy with that.
The Pota dies. The Pota dies.
Okay, that's...
Last shot from the cannon. That's huge. Or
that
maybe
is...
not huge, but it is something.
It's the difference between king damage and no king damage, right? Because if Quacker's Pota survives there, he's going to fully cover Burnt's leak in the mid. But like this, they're going to lose a few percentage points. All right, there's a resend again from Shay and Shadow, and Burnt is holding his Mythium. Sculptrolled. I mean,
Is he going ogre? Or yeah, he had to go ogre against the gate guard now.
I need to point out, by the way, that
Or is
this
he going centaur? Is he going centaur?
this is Burnt Das Brot, the self-proclaimed for fun player, and he is going for a wave. What was this, like wave 2 into wave 7 with 300 Mythium send?
What's his income? His income is 18. He's
Yeah.
losing a full worker a wave.
I mean, he's leaking every single wave, of course, but he's getting that Fiesta Gold. He's getting the Mythium from his 3 Pixies, and crucially,
But
Dark
now
Quacker has
he's
been
leaking
able to
5.
cover.
Or is he gonna league only 4?
I think
Yeah,
he's
it's
going to
gonna
kill
be
this
only-
last one. It's close. Oh,
No,
one shot
7
away.
HP.
Yeah,
Well,
83%. He would have liked to get that last rocker.
For the tension of the game, I like to see it.
So it's a lot of gold now going over to Shadow and Shay, but they're going to need that gold
What's he
because there's
doing? Centaur?
300 Mythium for Burnt.
And 1 creep goes to the king. That's...
Does he send? Okay, he
There's a
sends.
centaur.
And it's a Centaur on wave 7. I haven't seen a Centaur on 7, I think, since like season 2.
I don't think you saw it in season 2.
I think, I mean season 2 of the game, as in like 2018.
Did centaur exist back then?
It did, yeah. It was like a meme play where players would just save all the way from wave 1 till wave 7 and go for a Centaur play. Okay, so 340 Mythium walks into Shadowwing's lane. He has 875 value. He has a lot of gate guards on the field, so Centaur obviously pierce into Fortified, but it looks like it's just overwhelming Shadowwings. And who can blame him? That is a 340 Mythium send on 7, so of course he leaks.
I mean, 124% isn't even that bad.
Given that
because
this was like a wave 2 until 7 send, yeah?
How much? I mean, there's a 120 reward from the wave, and the centaur is what?
70?
70, yeah, so that's 60% on its own.
Yeah. I think we have to judge the king damage to see how bad it was, and they're only going down to 73%. So I think we
That's
can
not-
we can calmly say that it's not that bad. This was a
Look at Shay.
yeah, he's just clearly ahead on the leaderboard.
It's gonna be interesting to see if Julian is gonna feel the pain of losing a worker a wave until wave 7.
Mhm.
Right now his income is, I mean, he's 19 ahead of Shadow, and Quacker is even with Shay. So they do have a bit of an income lead. And a bit of a worker lead, and of course the Pixies as well.
Yeah.
But they have also been leaking, and sure, there's Fiesta. But Fiesta only does so much.
And Shadowwing, so Burnt kind of went all in to try and starve Shadow out of the game this time, right? But Shadow's playing Castle, which means that if they're able to survive past wave 10, Shadow's just going to pull ahead of Burnt.
Yeah. An interesting game dynamic going on here. Because Quacker is also cartel, so we're gonna see Quacker lose income. Shadow is gonna gain income. Shay is pulling ahead. Oh, Quacker is even with Shay now, but
It's like a 70 income swing, right, on wave 11 for Castle and Cartel. So Quacker is
Yeah,
currently 50 income ahead of Shadow.
it's closer to 80 even.
Yeah. But he will be behind in income on wave 11. Although, having said that, he's on 14 workers and Shadow's on 8. So I think he can comfortably
Yeah.
absorb that income swing. All right, Burnt is shifting 100 gold here. He wants
He's
to
gonna-
try and get that Sovereign out for wave 10. He does get a send here. It's only a Fiend.
But he only has the Avenger, and that goes down pretty quickly.
Yeah, but it's not bad. It's
No, it's gonna
you
be
know.
42% or is it 50?
I think 50%, yeah. But again, Fiesta Pixies, he's kind of fine with that. He has 3 Pixies on the table. That's another 18 Mythium. He already has nigh on 300 Mythium to send. Is he going to go for a Centaur again on 10?
I mean, yeah,
He does? Yep. So we've got the Ogre from Quacker, we've got the Centaur from Burnt, and Shay and Shadow. What is your answer here, my friends?
I can't wait to see the Witch pack on 12.
Shadow, very unfortunately, has nothing better than Gargoyle spam here. Of course, he gets the Doppel, which is really solid, but his tanks leave a lot to be desired, I think, with all of those Gargoyles. He is on
Yeah, that's a bit
1600
unfortunate.
value.
Yeah, he has been pressured into just overvalue and like insane.
Yeah, let's get a good
Hey,
look at this. The Centaur is making short work of all of those Gargoyles. It's even split tanking some of the units over here. The Doppelganger is what we need to keep an eye on. And yeah, the Doppel
it
goes
goes down
down. This
there.
will be a big leak for Shadow. Burnt holds. He
Oh,
did get.
Shay,
Oh,
look at Shay.
Shay!
Oh, 64 HP and 54.
No!
He
That
leaks a boss and an ogre with a total of 118 HP. You
That is
hate to see
very
that.
unfortunate. It doesn't translate into too much king damage, but it's a
No.
lot of lost gold there for Shay. Very, very unlucky.
I thought he was so close to holding, but Dark Ritual is in the game, so king damage
Yeah,
kind of mitigated.
they get a very
Ju
high value.
Julian going with the investment.
hmm
What do we see out of Shadow?
If you look at the income now, before any spells are chosen, Quacker is still ahead of Shadow. Oh no, that's only because he just took the investment. So he was behind Shadow after
Yeah, they
the
both
income
pick
swing.
investment.
hmm
So Shadow can pick investment, like, and pull ahead. Or he can pick Dark Ritual and just get instant gratification.
Yeah. I mean, the Dark Ritual's pretty solid, right? It's worth, what is it, 4 or 5 waves worth of investment gold?
Yeah, it's 4 ways, right?
Yeah. So just
So you
take
get
it.
that now, and that would have evened out because you get the first income for
hmm
12. So it's not until 15 that investment pulls ahead of Dark Ritual.
Yeah.
But of
But we.
course, as a penny sucks, you can't pick Dark Ritual because you're at 94% HP, whereas it's
Yep.
not that punishing for the speedrunners.
hmm Now, comfortable holds for all 4 players here. No Mythium was spent, so not very surprising. Still saving past wave 12 as well. And we see
Look at
some
Shay.
very high values on the board.
Shay 22 workers. Like he's making up for the deficit the Shadow has.
Yeah, he's on fire. He's got a 50 gold bounty on his head.
Shadow is gonna be strong enough to stay in the game, but Shay is so strong he's gonna pull ahead of this game, I think.
Yeah.
Julian does not have the income advantage that you want to see out of a Fiesta player at this stage.
What I would, yeah, I mean, he didn't play to scale, right? He played to try and
No,
take Shadow out of the game, but then Shadow
yeah,
just had Castle. So, I mean, it worked in a way, but he was able to kind of even out there with that Castle power spike.
yeah, he's sending here.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much of a fan of that I am.
Oh, and Shadow is
Sh
income sending. Okay, I'm
yeah,
definitely not a fan of this play. I
no,
think if they really want to send here on 13, it's not a terrible play, but they have to be together on that. They need to get some king damage done because they're on 34%, their opponents are on 94, and with tenacity, they just need to get some damage done, right?
yeah, definitely. I would have loved to see the 14 send, I think, instead.
Mm-hmm. All right. We have some very high values on all 4 players right now. Quacker is 30 overvalue. Burnt is the lowest here, and he does receive a full send. But I think this is just going to give him a fiesta, right? The Sovereign is not tanking the 4 eyes yet.
But it will now,
It will
right?
now, yeah. But he's going to kill most of the wave.
At least
And
there are 2 4 eyes to bring it down. But he's
yeah,
gonna is he gonna stack fully? Yeah, it's gonna stack fully.
yeah, but
But only
only for
just yeah,
one attack. Yeah, it doesn't really
yeah.
count.
Alright, we see 2 creeps and 2 4 eyes.
I mean, it's 100% leak, but Quacker's just very easily covering all of this in the mid.
I
So
mean, I think seeing how strongly Quacker held here, I think it was the right play to just go income.
Yeah. But it's rough though, man. It's rough.
It is
Like,
really rough.
and now
Shadow,
they're
oh, they go for income again.
just forced into the income king trap, right? Because they're falling behind. Jules is only giving them a 30% win chance based on all of the formulated metrics, but I think that's kind of not completely representative of this game. It feels like a nearly 99% chance for Burnt and Quacker to take this one now. They're so far ahead in every way that matters. They have way more Mythium, they have better scaling builds, they have 60% more King HP than their opponents.
Shay not going. Oh, they hold it here. Shay not going for the disciple upgrade.
Mhm.
I'm not. I would have gone for that, I think. But then again,
I mean, if
what do I know?
If I'm Burnt and Quacker and I get this income King Send here on 14, I just call wave 16 straight away
Yeah,
because
Shadow.
39% King HP, Shadow's pretty terrible there. Shay has options, but the send is going to be over 1,000 Mythium. And yeah, they do save on 15. So I do
Yeah,
expect to see this wave 16 send, and I do expect it to be game ending as well.
yeah. That 13 cent was a bit rushed, I think.
hmm And ultimately, they're going to pay the price for that mistake.
I can't believe he doesn't upgrade this.
Yeah, well, you upgrade this one, right?
Yeah, exactly. Uh, that's the one I pinged. But like, if you get the mana aura on 4 disciples and you get it to the star caller on its own, that's a huge increase.
It's a big power spike, yeah.
Like much better than anything else you can do, I think.
All right, so now I think Shay and Shadow Wings, they just need to income King and maybe send a prayer to any gods that they might worship because they're going to
Double
need
need
some help here.
Laphora out of Burnt. Double Ram out of Quacker.
Yeah, this is it's a massive send.
Massive doesn't state it clearly enough, I think.
Yeah, I mean that's what she said, but let's see what happens. Do they have any chance to hold here, Skov?
I mean, I doubt it. I really doubt it. Well, it all comes down to if Shay upgrades this disciple or not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they do
And
have a chance.
he does upgrade the disciple, yeah. Miracles can happen. He has 200 gold left to spend as well. And yeah, he's going to go for the white main here. He's going for the tank value. I like that play. He's got another 50, so that's
Yeah.
another Aqua. Or another, yep. So he's just going.
Yeah, probably another
all
buckler.
in for tank
He
value.
does have the 2 rogue waves and the 3 aqua fire elementals, plus the disciples.
All right.
But it's well,
everything now I think is going to come
does
down
the Assyria
to the,
live? No, it doesn't. It's dead.
oh,
Assyria's
instantly dead for the Azyria. That is kind of rough.
That is rough indeed. He had nothing to grab aggro for it.
Yep. And
So they're just dead
meanwhile,
there.
the Doppel died fairly early for Shadow Wings.
The double always dies early on 16.
Yeah, and they're calling GG, and Skov, that is the first series going in favour of Team Penny Sucks. So it seems that their gameplay is better than their choice of team names.
Look at Julian.
Yeah.
I'm with him on that one. I think having something broken and then having it occur less often
is a bit of a weird balancing choice.
That's not the right fix.
I would definitely agree with that. Yeah.
I see that they're very it's a difficult call to make. Like, how do we fix it?
Yep.
But
yeah, and Burnt's just showcasing why Fiesta Pixie is so strong here. Like, I don't even think he played particularly well. In fact, I would go to say so far as to say that he played it quite poorly. He put a ton of pressure on Shadow. Like, he went for this 360 on 3 into 340 on 7. But they barely did any king damage to Shay and Shadow because, of course, Shay fully holds there. And he's just falling behind, right? I think if Julian was going for a slightly more income-heavy play, he would have just snowballed off the face of the earth and made this game not even close. But even though he's leaking like 74% on 3, he's leaking 50 on 5, 80 on 6, 70 on 7, 50 on 8, another 50. Like, he's leaking more than half the wave on nearly every wave, and he's still able to put on the most pressure, have the most Mythium in the game, and that is the Fiesta Pixie in a nutshell.
Yeah. All
Oh, man.
right.
Okay, well, that is the first series decided. Congratulations to Team Penny Sucks. That was an interesting one for sure. The first 2 games were roller coasters, like really back and forth. And to be fair, the third game was pretty close for most of its duration as well. So, really nice, close series between those 2 teams. We are going to have a quick 5-10 minute break now, Scarf, because I don't know about you, but my voice is killing me after talking rubbish for the last hour and a half. So I'll let the teams know they've got 10 minutes to relax. Twitch chat, make sure you don't go anywhere. We're going to have another cracking series coming up in a few minutes' time. So hang about, make yourself a cup of tea, and we will see you guys back here in around 10-ish minutes.
You talking to me? I'm ready to go. Close the door and everything.
Right. Hey, close the door this time. Good news, Scoff Trolled. That means the Twitch chat do not get another glimpse into the Scoff chamber.
Oh, they don't not want to see what's going on in there.
Oh, they do, I assure you. Especially that
Wow,
guy who liked your voice.
that's a lot of sadness and crying going on in there, I can tell you that.
All right, Twitch chat. So we have got another fantastic series coming right up. We will be following the adventures of Penny Sucks as they move their way into the winners match, which they are going to be playing against Big Bro Lil Bro, which is a team of Drakia and Isolde, aka Genum. So it seems FC Lucy, Drakia's usual tournament partner, is unavailable to play this month, and that does mean Drakia has had to branch out, find his little bro to come and play with him, and we'll have to see how well these guys are able to do. Now, both fantastic players in their own right, of course, but they don't have that experience of playing together on a tournament stage the same way that Drakia and Lucy do. So we'll have to see how that one works out for them. Do you have any favourites, Mr. Skov, in the match of Big Bro Lil Bro versus Penny Sucks?
I mean, we have one winner from the last turn. Oh, I guess it was 2 tournaments ago. I wasn't available to see the last one.
Mm-hmm.
One previous winner there, but like if Julian can get the Phoenix again, I think I favor them.
Yeah, I mean, he pulled off some absolute dream level holds in the previous game. Though I do think it's worth saying that I think both Burnt and Quacker need to step up a little bit if they want to be able to beat Drakir and Isolde. Because
Yeah.
Drakir, I mean, you say you missed last month. Drakir and Lucy actually won again. So they
Oh, they
won
won again.
they won two Nova Cups back to back. They won March, they won April, and now Drakir, despite, okay, he's lost his usual tournament partner, but can he make it 3 wins in a row now with Isolde on his side? We'll have to find out. But this is going to be a really tough match now for Burnt and Quacker. Now, clearly they did not have an easy run of things against Shadowwings and Shay in the first series. That was a very, very close series, and it looked like they were going to lose 2-0 in the second game, remember?
It did.
So I think they both need to step up a little bit, bring the game to a higher level if they want to stand a chance against Drakir and Isolde. This is not going to be an easy match for them. But, you know, it's Legion. Anything can happen. We'll have to see. I do think Drakir and Isolde are favoured, though.
I would probably, yeah, but maybe 55-45 or something.
Mhm.
A little bit more. I think it's gonna be a close one. We're
Yeah.
definitely gonna have a couple of good games on our hand, if not 3.
Yeah, the games are going to be good for sure. I just think, I mean, and to be fair, game number 3 they played pretty well for Burnt and Quacker. They need to keep up that level of play though. They can't play as sloppily as they did in like game number 1.
Yeah, but then again, that's also quite scary to say they need to keep up, but because that means they need to keep up with Fiesta Pixie
Yeah, right.
and Priestess
And
Mask.
Priestess Mask with Cartel. Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
dream scenario for them. Okay, all right, enough chatter. Game number 1 is here. We have Big Bro, Lil Bro. Oh, we actually have a remake. Oh no.
There was Embargo.
There was embargo. So yeah, we did talk about the embargo bug before the first series started. For anybody who has joined us since then, there is some sort of bug with the embargo Legion spell that means sometimes it becomes unselectable. And both teams here just agreed before the game started that if embargo was one of the choices, they don't want to risk it. They just want to remake the game. And unfortunately, that happened. So we have a very quick remake. Hopefully, don't waste too much time. And we should get back into the game.
I mean,
ASAP.
everybody's ready except for you.
I mean, I have to. I
Oh, yeah,
have to
I remember the
explain to the
wooden
Twitch
PC
chat. You know, it's difficult.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine trying to do 2 things at once, dude. All
I can
right.
only imagine.
So game number 1.
But it's gonna
Second
have to be some
time
other
lucky.
time.
Yeah. Don't give us another embargo, please. Jules, please. Well, let's see if we can get an actual game on our hands as we go into game number 1 with Big Bro, Lil Bro, Drakir, and Isolde on the left
We have
versus
Guardian Angel, All Out Assault, and Sacrifice.
none of which are embargo, which is fantastic. Interestingly, different Legion spell masterminds picked up this time because
Yeah.
in the first game we had 3 YOLOs and now we only have 1.
What did Julian get? That's always interesting to see what the YOLO player gets. And he gets the Fire Lord.
He has a very playable YOLO role there.
He has a very playable role indeed.
It's not perfect. It's definitely weak on, you know, wave 6 and stuff like that where he won't have his Fire Lord. But
I think it's shift 5.
it's a very good YOLO role. We have to give it that. Like, you know, you're always playing a bit risky when you pick YOLO in a tournament match, but he's been rewarded because this is above average.
Above average indeed.
Now we have Isolde. Oh, but I'm talking about
Priestess
above
Mask.
average. He has the Priestess Mask. Still, probably despite 2 or 3 rounds of nerfs, still the best opener in the game, I think. We have got a snail coming out from Drakir. He's red. Clearly, Burnt played 2 Fiesta games in his first series. He's hoping to catch him out here in game number 1 of this series, but he's not going to be rewarded here. That's 6 free gold for Burnt.
And with the YOLO, that just means he gets 5 workers on the wave 2.
Oh,
That's actually
Burnt actually re-rolled on wave 1. So he's lost that 7th income, going down to 6 income with his YOLO, but he's rolled away the Phoenix, Skov.
Is he okay?
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
I
I suppose he has a very specific positioning for it, and the Gatling gun kind of messes with that, I think. So I can see why he does that.
I think you can still do it though, and I think actually Phoenix is one of the better units to pair with the Gatling gun because it covers that wave 13 so well. Now, sure, he found the Sovereign, which is also a pretty good unit on wave 13,
I mean,
but
people have said it's good on wave 13. That's for sure.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure he knows what he's doing. Well, it is burnt after all. Maybe I'm not so sure.
It's gonna be interesting to see here.
What is Quacker's Golden Monument? He has the sludge, the Wave 7 sludge. That's a
Yeah,
pretty cool looking
it's
monument.
the little one. I think it's very awesome.
Yeah.
But I mean, when it comes to monuments, we gotta hand it to Drakir and Isolde.
Oh yeah, the Wave 19 creep there for Drakir, and
Yeah,
the Sakura for Isolde. Very nice.
And I think mainly because like Julian just has horrible monuments.
Yeah, horrible player, horrible monuments.
Yeah, he's
Enough
just
said.
put 10 random things down. I don't
Mhm.
like that. You gotta show some style with it.
All right, not anything particularly exciting to write home about in the first 3 waves. Everybody playing fairly standard Legion, sending the income when they need to send the income, just scaling.
The Ian Angler on wave 3 out of Drakir, which is the most interesting thing to happen right now, I would say.
And it actually survived, so Drakir showcasing how you can not position your Angler terribly and make it get 36 stacks on wave 3.
That is amazing. And then, he upgrades the Devilfish over here. I think I like that.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to keep the
keep
away.
the wave split for longer.
Let the Trinity Archer deal infinite damage against the left side of the wave. Alright, the sends are not massive, of course. There's 60 for Drakir, easy hold there for him. There's 60 for Isolde, who with the Priestess Mask is under 0 danger. And there's a 40 for Dark Quacker, who likewise. But his build is not as good as Isolde's.
But, oh yeah, he's a worker behind.
Mm-hmm.
Drakir's 7 workers, to Julian's 5.
And yeah, burnt as usual, the lowest workers in the game there with 5. He is being pressured somewhat by Drakir, who sends a Cannoneer here on wave 5. But with his 525 value, I would hope for Burnt's sake at least that he's going to be fine here.
I think the cannon might go on the Gatling and kill it.
Yeah, we'll have to see. That's going to be pretty clutch, actually. If that cannon kills the Gatling, he's going to be in a ton of trouble.
Oh,
But no, the cannon's straight on the Neko.
But it's on the Cat. He does have a pretty decent split here, the Gatling tank and the boss.
Yeah. He's
but
just going to
the
easy
Cat
hold,
dies before the Wanderer, so...
Oh yeah, so now the cannon is going to go down, so he never kills that Cannoneer.
No. He only leaks the cannon though, so... That's decent for this much pressure.
This is what we in the high elo cabal call being cannon shamed. So Burnt has been well and truly cannon shamed here on wave 5, even though he stayed 5 workers, 525 value.
I mean, he was exactly even with the recommended value, and still leaks the cannon.
Now
it's not terrible. I mean,
talking of cannons, we have another cannon sent from Isolde into Quacker. He's going to be completely fine, and one from Quacker.
That cannon is just going to go on 2 Devilfish.
Drakir's easily holding it.
3 Devilfish in total. And then the Gate Guard to deal some damage together with the Elite Archer, I think, yeah.
Yeah, and understanding that Drakir was never leaking here, Quacker just goes for a king up instead of a snail. Now,
that's what you want to do.
The 140 Mythium against Quacker, as expected, he's very easily holding this. With
he's not caring at all. Wait, I didn't see the send on his Isolde. Well, I saw the wave or the creeps, but the UI was bugged.
Burnt is holding his Mythium for, I don't know, a wave. Does he go wave 8? Does he go wave
Oh.
9? Seeing this
What's-
hardened golem here, he might feel inclined to send on wave 8.
That could work out. That's interesting. He just sold a mask here, and then rebuilt it there.
Yeah, maybe a bit of unsure what he wants to do with his build there for Isolde.
Yeah. We see pings coming out on the Mudman.
Yeah. So Burnt, I mean, he can send a Mimic if he wants to. If the wave goes much longer, he might even be able to send an Ogre. But no, he just goes for income.
Yeah. And I mean, did you just see the Ranger as well?
Mm-hmm.
So like, if you have the Priestess tanking the mask, it's not gonna be angry,
Yeah.
but it's still gonna be there together
Oh.
with the Daphne.
Quacker?
And that's a slow hold.
No, it's not.
Oh,
it's
it's
a
not?
leak. 34% to a snail.
Interesting. He did the hunt one.
Now, Burnt going for that income send is maybe going to backfire, right? Because clearly he wanted to make sure he would get his Vulcan cannon out here, which he does, but he has 44 gold left over. Like, he could have gone for a real send here against Isolde and potentially
He did
got...
have. Yeah,
Go
he
ahead.
could have gotten the ogre if he wanted to.
Yeah, he could have got a really big leak here out of Isolde, I think.
He forgot to check if anybody was leaking.
So Burnt,
And-
yeah, he jumped the gun, and as a result, I think Isolde just has a freehold here.
You see three dragon turtles, but two of them is going right.
Mm-hmm.
So one just gets obliterated, and then the priestess tanks perfectly here.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
oh,
the
it goes
cannoneer
down, but
does
it doesn't
kill
matter.
it. But yeah, the mask just
it
stays
doesn't
alive
matter.
forever.
The cannon is on the the cannon is on the mask, and then there are a Daphne to tank the wave, a ranger. And look at that.
Easy hold there for Isolde. He was at least feeling under the pressure, but having said that, Burnt was still 7 workers until this wave 8 started.
Yeah, he's falling behind on income.
He really is. He's 40 income behind Drakir. Now, sure, again, Drakir's playing Cartel, so he will have that wave 11 penalty kicking in. But he's also a couple of workers ahead of Burnt, and I think he can quite easily absorb that penalty and still be in the lead.
Yeah, and he's got the bounty hunter to make up for the penalty from Cartel.
Yeah, he only just now upgrades it on wave 9,
Yeah.
though. The last time I checked in on this bounty hunter, it was wave 6, and it was already full mana. I thought he would upgrade it to get all of those wave 7 juicy stacks, but no.
Maybe he felt the pressure.
Yeah. Or maybe he just wanted to push the worker button. Alright, so a very easy hold for all 4 players here on 9. There's only a single cannoneer sent. Everybody else holds on to their Mythium. I mean, I say very easy. This Vulcan cannon
I
nearly
mean-
died. If that was a real send from Drakir, Burnt would have leaked pretty good.
Yeah, and it was the sea dragon keeping it alive.
Yeah. Alright.
You gotta love the symmetry in Julian's build, though.
You do get bonus points for symmetry in this game, of course, so
Of course, yeah.
very solid decision making there.
But saying that you do get bonus points, Julian on 2.3, everybody else on 2.4, he is starting to trail a little bit.
Yeah, just look at
Look
his
at the income as well, 60 behind.
Least
He's not
workers
got-
in the game, least value in the game, least income in the game. But I'm sure he's got some game plan, Scoff.
Yeah, I mean,
He
he
is
sure has. He
holding.
might have a plan, but is it gonna come to fruition?
He is just barely holding the Dino King upsend here on wave 10. Meanwhile, Quacker leaking 73% to a Drake and 2 Dragon Turtles, which Burnt will not be able to cover.
Nope.
So first blood, although both teams kept 100% King HP until now. Oh
Might
man.
just look like 15%, but it's so much more than that when
Burnt,
one king is full HP.
what are you doing?
Oh no,
What are you
that's not what
doing,
you.
man?
That's not what you want to do, man.
The
You want
self-proclaimed for fun player. He has
to. You need.
350 Mythium stored,
Oh,
76 income, and he takes the all-out assault.
yeah, he can go 12.
He
Then
has less than half the income of every other player in the game, Scov.
I mean, Drakir is. He's 5 ahead. Oh well, 76 times 2 is 152.
All
That's
right,
what I mean.
all right, Mr. Maths.
What I hate about Julian is that he didn't build symmetrically here. He had the
Yeah,
chance to do it.
that's pretty terrible.
Yeah,
He
I
deserves
think
to
it.
lose for that alone.
Yeah, it has 0 impact on the game whether he builds symmetrically or not. I think.
But when do they want to send? Because he's got so much Mythium stored.
He has. They have to go.
They have to go
No,
13, right? It
They have
has
to
to
go
be
13. Yeah. Oh, but there's a GA on the Assyria.
GA on the Aziria, and Isolde calls it correctly. He's building the Avenger here so that he can afford the Sovereign next. He's not building to try and hold Wave 12. He's not even hardening his Mudman. This is a nice read here from Isolde. He's under a ton of pressure from Burnt, but he's keeping calm.
But he knows that Drakir is so strong on Wave 12.
Yeah,
That
he's
it makes
covering
no
anything. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look at it. There's a Banana Bunk. There's a Baby Kingpin. There's a Trinity Archer. What more do you want for Wave 12?
I'm kind of worried though, Scov. I'm worried for Team Penny Socks on Wave 13. Because sure, they're going to send a ton of Mythium there themselves, but Drakir and Isolde, if they want to go for breaks, I think Burnt and Quacker are going to really struggle to hold their own lanes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So it's kind of clutch now. Do Drakir and Isolde just go for Income King, or are they going to try for leaks?
They just
They
Drakir and
skip?
Isolde doesn't. They are just stone cold.
Wow. Now, Drakir did just sacrifice for 505 gold. I'm not sure which of his units cost 505 gold. It must have been something that he rerolled.
What can he have for 505? There's nothing he can have for 505.
Yeah, it must have been something that he rerolled away.
What did he have originally?
I can't remember.
We can't see that, no.
You're asking me to remember something that happened more than 2 minutes ago. All right, Drakir with 440 send here. He's on good value. He did get that Aziria out. The Aziria is living forever. No, it's alive.
Oh, Drakir's Assyria. Isolde's went down, but Isolde's has GA.
Yeah, it has GA. It comes back.
It dies and comes back.
He's just holding, no?
He's just holding.
I mean, this is just game over, I think. Drakir and Isolde, they didn't even need to send to hold this all-in play from Burnt and Quacker. This is looking very, very rough now.
Yes, Jules says 71%.
Yeah, but I think it's very soon going to be 100% because, I mean, just every metric that you care to look at is saying that Burnt and Quacker are doomed.
Yeah.
They're super far behind in value, super far behind in workers, and they're going to leak really hard here on Wave 14.
Quacker is 500 behind in power score, but Julian is 800 behind.
Yeah, that is really rough.
Well, the shutdown bonus would be what, 125? No, just 175. But yeah.
And now we have a 620 Mythium send for Burnt. We have a 520 Mythium send for Quacker. And his steeds are crumbling under that Centaur's attacks. He is focusing the Centaur, so that's something. And the Aziria does stay alive. It gets another spell. Burnt, of course, leaks everything.
The Aziria is doing amazing. The Aziria is
it's not enough.
And then the GA's here and kills the Ogre.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good hold, but it's not enough.
Well, if that was the bad wave, they would have been just fine.
Yeah.
Problem is that's the good wave, and by a long shot.
Yeah, they're going to take a ton of damage here. 14 creeps reaching the king. They have very few king upgrades. and their king HP is dropping Skovtrold very, very low.
You can just see the win rate percentage just.
Yeah,
It was 71% at the start of the wave. Now it's gonna go to 80. No, just about not.
74. Okay, now I think the only reason that Jules is still giving them a chance is that they have a slight Mythium lead, but looking at the
Yeah.
workers, even that is going to pull away. Like, man, I mean, I think Jules is being a little bit optimistic when he gives these guys a 26% win chance, because if it were up to me, I think my percentage would be less than 1.
Well, that's the thing. Yours is based of opinion and personal analytics, whereas Jules just takes it off numerical stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's all automated, right? And
Yeah.
it does consider a lot of stuff, the win percent chance, but I think there's certain things about game state that you just need to be able to read.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
yeah, these guys are they're just dead. Wave 16 is coming up. Julian is terrible there. He's way undervalued. And Quacker, while he is better on Wave 16, the sends are just going to be way too big.
Look at Julian barely holding.
Yeah,
Wave
barely
15
holding the
here.
no send here.
I
And
mean,
they
he is bad on 15.
I mean, he's bad in general, but he's very weak on 15. He does get a second Vulcan cannon out here, but he's minus 1100 below recommended value. Skov, I can't look. This is
And
going to be a massacre.
all he has is 2 Avengers.
Yeah,
Everything else just crumbles.
this is going to be an absolute slaughter, Skov Trolls.
It really is. I shall remember to close my door now,
Yeah.
because the game is gonna end.
Oh, somebody in Twitch chat just let me know it was the Kingpin that Trakia sold with his
Oh, of
sacrifice
course.
on wave 13. Yeah. Good shout there, Mr. Pugh.
That makes sense. Kingpin is a great unit to sacrifice.
Yeah, because you get the extra gold from his stacks as
Yeah.
well, right? Every stack is worth 1 extra gold. But yeah, this is a very clear game over here in game number 1. And Drakir and Isolde made this one look easy. 133% leak there for Burnt. Well played, GG coming out from Burnt. And yeah, Quacker, he doesn't hold much longer. There's the
Well,
game.
he doesn't get to league though, so
Yeah, moral
small,
victory.
a small moral victory for the match history.
But just look at this graph, Skov. Burnt and Quacker, they had some signs of life in the early game, and then it just really slipped out of their control. Like Drakir and Isolde, basically from wave 10 onwards, they were just miles ahead of Burnt and Quacker. We had this enormous all-in play. When was Julian's previous send? Wave 8. Okay, he went income on 8 into 580 Mythium, all-out assault play on 13, and Isolde just held comfortably. They could have just forfeited at that point, honestly, Scoftron. I don't know why they carried on tormenting themselves
you
after
don't
that
forfeit.
send.
You don't forfeit.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that was
But
what
it
a
was
hold
pretty much
there.
over. Like wave 1, when you see both Quacker and Isolde opens with Priestess, but one has Mask and the other doesn't. That's so huge already.
Yeah.
Right there.
It really is. And yeah, it was indeed the Kingpin that Drakir sold there on wave 13 for 500 gold, bonus gold from the stacks. And yeah. Oh, I'm being invited to the custom game, so we are out of time for analysing the game. But man, that felt pretty one-sided there in favour of Big Bro, Lil Bro. So, man, Team Penny Socks, they need to really raise the bar now in game number 2 if they want to
By the
have
way,
any chance of bringing this series back.
can we talk about how they've coordinated their pictures for the team name?
Pretty solid, right? We've got the pirate coach on Big Bro Drakir, and we've got the cheerleader coach on Lil Bro Isolde.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Style points. All
And
right.
they've got style, and Julian didn't build symmetrically after a
Yeah.
while, so
So
that's a
clearly,
loss of style right there.
100%, dude, 100%. All right, game number 2 is coming right now. So, Skov, can you give us a bit of a rundown of what Team Penny Sucks needs to do to have a chance of coming back into the series?
Well, Julian is Fiesta, but he didn't get the
The Pixies?
Pixies. He does have Protons,
Yeah.
which are also a pretty decent opening. He has the options to go Nightmare, Butcher, as well as the Hades. So he has something going for him in this game with his role.
Yeah. I wouldn't be too surprised to see him go for a Nightmare Fiesta, honestly. I think it can be pretty good.
Yeah,
But the Proton Fiesta clearly is better on the first couple of waves.
but he's opting. He has a Priestess in Fiesta. He's not going for it. He goes for the Atom
The
Proton.
Atom Proton, yeah. So we'll have to see, because Drakia did try snailing him, remember, in game number 1. So is
Yeah.
he going to try again in game number 2, correctly reading that Burnt has gone Fiesta this time around?
Ooh, that's gonna be interesting to see.
Hmm. Interesting, in
Ooh.
Isolde's lane, he did start with the Windhawk and then quickly
Yeah,
changed
but
that to a
Windhawk is a
Shroom.
crappy unit. It only has a
It-
36% win rate.
Yeah,
Windhawk, more like Loose Hawk.
Loose Hawk. A snail! Yes, so the correct
A
read coming
snail,
out from Big
yeah.
Bro, Lil Bro. And this is, yeah, looking rough now for Burnt. This is a big leak with the snail into the Proton Atom Star. I think it's 67%.
Getting red at every corner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 67%. So a good call there from Lil Bro Isolde.
And he can snail again with income.
Yeah.
Because he's the 5-worker Wilds Room. That's... I mean, Quacker is gonna cover.
Of course. And Quacker will be
And-
able to get his 5th worker because of the gold given to him there by Burnt. Yeah, there's the snail from Isolde. He never gets the second one, right? No, he doesn't.
No, not with Gatling
Yeah.
in middle.
But Burnt, he did get the second atom built here, which means he's going to be completely fine against this resend.
Yeah, but he knows he's gonna get the snail because there's a 5-worker start with the.
Yeah.
So that's an easy read.
I think ideally he would have received a 40 send from Isolde here, because then he would have leaked very small, I think, with a double atom.
Yeah, the double snail would have just about leaked him.
Yeah.
Or would it?
I think just barely.
Yeah, barely, because the left atom went to help the right atom,
Mhm.
which lived with 14 HP.
Speaking of snails, we do have a couple coming out here from Drakia, who has stayed on 4 workers. He's being pressured somewhat by Burnt, but he's still hunting that pack rat, so he's not feeling too scared.
Oh. Also, the thing Drakia has going here with the tree and the angler,
Mm-hmm.
there's so much HP to be had when
Yeah,
the
when-
Kingpin gets, like
when you-
once it gets rolling.
Yeah, you get that high mana Kingpin. It's got like 7,000 HP, and then you give it regen. Oh my!
Yeah, and it's not a meager 0.5% or something, which
Mm-hmm.
you get from the Wilds Room. It's a 5%.
Yeah, it's pretty lovely. Yeah, easy hold there from Isolde, now pushing up to
Yeah.
7 workers, but same for Quacker. And here's that Dino now for Burnt. So let's see if Drakia has any answers for this. He upgrades the Bounty Hunter, of course, but that Dino's going to really ruin his day. It will go left, assuming that Burnt does not send a snail, which he can't even afford, so there will be no snail.
But it's
And-
gonna go right into. Is it gonna go in an aqua? If it goes in an aqua, that's bad. If it goes in a tree, that's fine.
Let's have a look. This is kind of important now. It does go on the
Yeah, it
Aqua, so
kills-
that Aqua's going to die very quickly.
And the other aqua is dead as well.
Oh yeah, so all of
That's
his
a lot of
splash
damage
damage
gone.
is gone, and he's really struggling to kill that Dino.
Oh.
It does now go down, but I mean, he has got the perfect focus now between the tree and the Bounty Hunter, but it's
Yeah.
not enough to save him. That's a 58% leak there, but interesting to point out is that he still hunted his pack rat here.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, he must have felt the pressure, right?
I mean, yeah, he stayed on
he-
4 workers, so
he knew that Ascent was coming, but maybe he just felt that 4 workers was enough to be safe.
He was 385 value there. He, of course, rehunts the pack rat. Burnt is going for a snail resend, but again, Drakir is going to be very fine here. And yeah, the steed. Oh no, he actually
Not the
changes his
steed.
mind. Okay, I think I would have preferred the steed here. Burnt can't send him too much Mythium.
No, he stays 4 workers as well. That's
Yeah,
that's not good.
Drakir, this
I
is a
really
little bit
like the steed here.
Yeah, a bit uncharacteristic from Drakir, I've got to say. Him staying so low workers.
And the aqua here is just mispositioned.
Mm-hmm. It's dead
It
again.
dies. It dies every time. Aquas have really good damage because of the splash.
Meanwhile, Burnt Das over Builder, playing Fiesta, staying on value. He's going to be able to hold again. So no Fiesta value here for him. And now he goes up to 8 workers.
He was close to leaking though.
He goes for a Fiend Send here against Drakir, who still hunts his rats, by the way.
I mean, Julian must be doing something right because he's keeping Drakir on solo workers.
Yeah.
But Drakir is going to be able to come back. Oh, he unhunts.
He unhunts his pack rat. Okay, so that means that he will hold here, but he's just getting so little Mythium. 5 workers, no treasure hunt.
But he gets the push here and he's going to be pretty decently strong.
Well,
on,
Burnt did not even full send here, so he might do
that's
something
true.
like a double brute send on 7.
Yeah, double brute on 7 is really good against the 8 bounty hunter. But you do need the double brute for it to be efficient.
Yeah, and I don't think he reaches that. No, so he just goes for a
No.
Fiend Send.
But he does. No, he's only gonna get a lizard or something if he wants to do that. He does have 13 workers though, so they are 5 workers ahead.
Yeah, and this is kind of a reversal of game number 1, right? Where
Yeah.
Drakir and Isolde were just pulling further and further ahead. Right now it seems that Burnt is pulling ahead, but Drakir is going to have a massive power spike when this thing upgrades, and then when he gives it regen as well, he's going to be unstoppable until wave 13.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
again,
if he gets an antler on it, 13 might not even be enough. But ooh, he hunted, so
Yeah.
his bounty hunter goes down.
But once again, Burnt did not full send, so he saved another 40 or 60 Mythium, and as a result, Drakir is holding. And same for his lil bro Isolde. Both players hold the income sends.
Yeah, they were 5 workers ahead. Now they are 1 worker ahead. They are no workers ahead.
And there is a
But
resend.
they are income ahead. Like, yeah, he's what 33. Julian is 30, 41 income. 43. I can't count anymore.
I really want Burnt to just try a full send against Drakir at some point, though. I feel like if he's done 2 king ups here, I'm pretty sure 140 would leak Drakir pretty good.
Yeah, Dino would be really good here. Like, but I guess Cannon is pretty good against the steed. But the bounty hunter is gonna go to almost 150 here.
And yeah, look, I mean, Drakir's even leaking to the Cannoneer double king up here.
Yeah.
So Burnt has not full sent him on any wave yet. I would like to see him try.
Drakir holds with the unhunted rat.
Yeah, like this
and
for sure.
He hunted and unhunted like 5 times.
Yeah, he was unsure.
As the wave was beginning. Here goes the triple brood from Drakir and the ogre turtle.
This is a really big send now. Yeah.
Julian is leaking here.
I mean, I think Burnt is definitely leaking. He does have the Sovereign, though, which is the Avenger, sorry, which is really good against an ogre.
Yeah, but everything else just crumbles, so it won't have the time to stack up.
I like this from Quacker, by the way. He's just spamming the tree ants because, of course, the wave that you place them, they have 4 stacks of this exuberance. That gives them 20% damage reduction. So pretty solid units for tanking wave 9.
Yeah, indeed.
He even gets his gun to split tank a little bit. This is really good aggro for him. He's still going to leak, but it's not going to be terrible. Meanwhile, Burnt Das Brot, I mean, his front line has crumbled. He's going to leak
Huge leaks.
really bad here. 93% there for Burnt.
Oh,
But
look at this.
Quacker, he's just holding.
Quack is straight up holding. He's not gonna cover much. We see a leak again from Drakir.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
there's no pack hunt this treasure hunt. But this cannon is gonna kill one, and then the ogre hits. Oh, it kills two.
That's
Such a
still
strong unit actually.
That's still a very clutch hold there for Quacker, though.
Yeah, king damage on both sides,
Yeah.
but not a lot on the brothers.
Team Penny Stocks go down to 78% HP.
There
but
we go.
Jules is actually giving them an
150,
advantage.
6.4k HP Kingpin.
Whoa, okay. 6.4k HP. It's about to have
6.4.
5% max HP regen as well. That thing is going to be... I mean, it's just unkillable until wave 13, right?
Yeah. Did he reroll yet? No, he didn't. So he can get... There he rerolled. Just as I said it.
Alright, there's a 160 send against Burnt. I mean, he would love a small leak here.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna love the big league that he's gonna make.
Yeah, this is a little bigger than he would like.
That's what she said.
Hey, now you're getting it. 51% leak there for Burnt. It's not terrible though.
Yeah, it's okay, and that's a full hold.
Everybody going for income sends here on 11, and of course Burnt will take Creditor, I would imagine.
Yeah, Drakir Creditor as well, because, well, he's got the Tree of Life, so why wouldn't he?
Yeah, and perfect gold as well, by the way, for Drakir. Exactly
wow.
170 gold, while having the full mana regen Kingpin. I mean, he's just unkillable here.
And the steeds have nothing to buff, so they just buff themselves.
Yep.
Which is what you want here. You want them to be as powerful as possible.
We have 3 Creditors so far. Lilbro Isolde, the only player in the game not feeling bold enough to take that Creditor.
He might need the investment.
He does take the investment, yeah. Alright, but it's only income and king pretty much from all 4 players, so don't expect to see mega leaks here. We might get a leak out of somebody, but it won't be a big one. And if anything, Burnt wants to leak here.
He wants to leak. I think the Kingpin is taken low, but I think it's gonna hit critical mass here.
Yeah, the lower it gets, the more it heals, right? It's healing 300 every second now.
That's insane, and yeah, it just about tips the scale.
Yeah, easy hold there. And yet, sure, Burnt does get his Fiesta, but he leaked 50% here against a handful of Dragon Turtles. So again,
that's a bit more than he would like.
Exactly, right?
The gun gets taken down.
So more king damage taken now from Quacker and Burnt.
Let's see. Very even game in terms of power score, but 55-45.
Drakir and Isolde, they are starting to pull ahead, though. If you look at the worker situation, they're 20 and 19 versus 16 and 17. Sure, Quacker and Burnt have a bit more value, but that's going to catch up quickly if Drakir and Isolde can get the income lead.
But we do see even income right now, and there's 2 Creditors on Quacker and Julian.
Yep,
against the 1 Creditor.
The one, yep.
So the investment has just kept Isolde in line with Julian.
But he's going to fall a little bit behind now, I guess.
Yeah, but right now it's turning into a 40 Mythium difference. Well, 80 in total, the teams in between, which is not huge, but of course is something.
When do you think the next send is coming? I wouldn't expect anybody to send before 15, but maybe even 16 as well.
No, I mean you have to go 15 against Drakir, right? What does Drakir have for 15?
Value.
Value, yes. Alright, he has value, but value will only take you so far.
Yeah, but Isolde has the canopies there, which are pretty solid. The problem is he doesn't have something like the Ocean Templar or, the Tree of Life, which would put those canopies over the edge.
Tree of Life canopy is such great fun.
Hmm. Really, really fun interaction, actually. Make that
That's a
thing unkillable.
favorite of mine from playing Chaos.
Oh, yeah, because
Sometimes,
you play Chaos, you just always get all of the good interactions, right?
exactly. That's why Green Spirit said I was the best Chaos player.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sometimes, there's also, you get the Ocean Templar, and then there might be Protector in the game.
Yeah, and then you
Now
just
that,
go absolutely Super Saiyan.
then you just regen max.
Alright, so as expected, nobody sending here on 14. And Drakia, interestingly, going for this Tree of Knowledge with the white main buff, with the steeds. That thing is
I
going to
like that.
deal a
I
lot of
like that.
damage. I'm going to just
I like
watch
that a
this
lot.
unit. Yeah, I'm going to just watch this unit here on wave 14 and see how many times it explodes.
Probably 1.5.
So he's already basically expecting the wave 16 send, I think, with that Tree of Knowledge.
Maybe. Like, he's definitely very good for 16 with the stuff he's just built.
Let's
Hey,
zoom
the
in.
Aqua still dies.
So we're going to get one explosion here in a second. Bam. Okay, it won't explode again. The
No,
wave's going to
because it
die
won't.
first.
It won't need to explode again, but it's
Yeah.
really good for covering mid after
And
that.
we do have all 4 players send here on 15. The bigger send coming out of Drakia and Isolde, but we have the value advantage for Quacker and Burnt, so we'll have to see which way this goes.
Julian sending double Ghost Knight, double Brood. I would think you're not muted. I would think that I would think that he would go for like Needler and Four Eyes.
This is going to
I
be an
think.
interesting one. Yeah, the sends are massive.
Oh, yeah. I think they both need a Needler Four Eyes.
So the bigger sends, of course, coming out from the side of Drakia and Isolde, but it's only 100 more. And they do have a couple of 100 more value on the side of Quacker and Burnt.
Julian has a really good build here.
Yeah, really good. He's just easy holding, right? With that
No, he's
Azeria.
leaking. He's still leaking a bit, I think. Is he?
He's going to kill the boss very quickly.
Yeah, he's gonna kill the boss,
Oh,
but
but
here
the
here
Needler
here
gets
goes
there.
down. See, Isolde know what to send. He sent Needler Four Eye.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Against all of this arcane swift armor here in Burnt's lane.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
they're going to take a
bigger
ton
leaks.
of damage. Oh, both sides taking a ton of damage. But are they just dead? Oh no, Tenacity is going to save them, it seems, but barely.
Just about. Wow.
Barely 1% HP on the side of Penny Sucks.
But now Drakier and Isolde are just pulling ahead. And then you have to go 18 for Julian and Quacker, but they're just dead 17, I think. Like they have.
Yeah.
Look at Julian. He has a Lioness for 17.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's looking a little rough. I mean, sure, he
It
can pop
is.
out a few King Claws, but
Yeah. It is a 5-stack Lioness for sure, but it's still tier 3.
wait a minute. Are we just about to see a replay of the game against Shadow and Shay? Because Quacker and Burnt shift a ton of gold here. They're planning to bait the Wave 17 send, but Drakir and Isolde have both pushed really hard. So it's another one of those, yeah, you're going to bait the send, but can you survive it?
Oh, no, they can't. They just can't survive it. There's no way.
Burnt's going to be well over 5k value, but yeah, like, Isolde's just full pushing for this.
Here comes the Centaurs and the Forest of Drakir. What else? Pack leader.
Alright, so Burnt, you have 1500 gold to spend. You go for a Lioness.
What else does he have?
He's going to need a bit more than that. No, he's building for 18. Oh,
He's
Burnt.
oh
You
why
can't do this. You can't.
how do they not realize how weak they are here?
You cannot try to bait the send on 17 and then build for 18. It doesn't work that way. I mean, yeah, he's on value, but maybe if he went
Yes,
for King Claws here instead of these units, he would have had a chance.
he has 2 lionesses for this wave.
Yeah. And his backline is getting obliterated here, so he loses out that heal value. His Azeria does stay alive, so that's something.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but
his last Sea Dragon's dying as well to just 1 creep. Wait a minute. Power of value?
oh, do we?
Power of value?
You see,
Holy moly. Okay. Okay.
and you see the damage take. Oh, the sovereigns took the most damage.
So obviously we were just trying to create some interest because as intelligent casters, we both knew that Burnt was going to easily hold there on 17, right, Skov?
Yes, of course we knew how much value he had.
Yeah, of course, of course, of course.
There's no way he was leaking.
Yeah, no chance.
So he just made a 400 IQ play.
Oh, I mean, they still nearly died to a Four Eyes and a Witch there. They skip again!
Yeah, of course they can because there's no pressure now, and they
Yeah.
built for 18.
Oh,
But
man.
19, come 19.
They get the income king send
Oh,
here from
but
Drakir and
19,
Isolde.
they're actually pretty decent for 19 with all the region.
Yeah.
When the 19 just splits all the damage.
But of course, Drakir's going all in on the Arc Tears here, so I could definitely see a 19 send being very dangerous against him. Isolde has those Havens, of course, and the Aquas are pretty good on 19, but he's just going to be like 2,000 undervalue. Alright, so yeah, the income king send here. Are they going to pull the trigger now or not?
Do they dare hold again? I mean, they haven't pushed at all.
They're still not pushing, yeah. I think they might just go for a wave 20 send.
What's going on here? Is the region keeping alive? Oh, there's an arc. That the Arctia does not have region. The Fatalizer does, so that's alive.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So holding. Barely
I
holding,
mean-
it has to be said, against the income king. And they save again! But Drakir and Isolde, they've got wind of this, and they're actually going for a full send. So Isolde has the Shaman pre-income, and Drakir is saving his Mythium. He is going for that post-income Shaman.
Is that that's like 12? No, 10. 10 freshly built treants here,
Yeah.
which are gonna be really good here, but they're not gonna be very good for 20.
But look at this, Sculptroll, because Dark Whacker has finally pushed his worker button, and he might come to regret that now, because there is a full send coming out from Drakir and Isolde, and Dark Whacker...
Julian is region maxing,
Yeah,
and you know what's good for holding?
regen, yeah, sure.
Region is good for holding.
The canopies are garbage in general on 19, though, the Arcane Impact.
That's true.
And his
Oh.
Azaria! That was very
Yes,
close
Siri,
there.
That just gets
Yeah.
a quick boost of HP.
So Julian will hold here, and Quacker, despite pushing hard, it looks like he's doing very, very well. Also,
Oh no, they're just
oh
about dying.
no! I thought that Burnt had held, but it is not enough. And Quacker leaks too. It's GG. They saved one wave too long.
Wow.
Oh, what
Was
an
that game two?
anticlimactic finish to the game. Yeah, they never survived this.
Imagine dying with 1,000 Mythium.
Ah, man. They saved it for next game. They were saving
Yeah.
for Legion TD3. And that is a 2-0 victory there for Big Bro, Little Bro. You hate to see it, because I felt like they had a very good chance here. And even though, like, Drakir and Isolde both have pretty good builds on 19, they were receiving an insane amount of Mythium there. Very, very unfortunate indeed. But we have to say a massive well played to Drakir and Isolde, who do guarantee their spot in tomorrow's semi-finals. Meanwhile, Team Penny Sucks, that's Quacker and Burnt, they have to play now in the losers match to see if they have a chance of making it through to day number 2.
So we're gonna see that game now?
Yeah. I mean, we need
And
to give the players a little break, I think, before
yeah,
their
of
final
course.
match, and the casters as well. But man, I'm absolutely gutted there for Quacker and Burnt. They probably should have won that game. And just look at this wave 15, holding on by the skin of their teeth. Burnt and Quacker going down to 1% King HP, managing to survive, and just barely, by the smallest of leaks there, dying on wave 19.
I gotta see this 15 cent from Julian. If
A double Ghost Knight and 3 Brutes? Yeah, that's an interesting one.
that's
It's not a
yeah,
Needler, I'll tell you that. It's not
it's
a
not
Needler.
Needler 4 Eyes,
Yeah.
which
But,
we're gonna test out now.
oh, Scoff, that was an intense series. It was a quick 2-0 for Drakir and Isolde, but
Yeah, but
game
what a
number 2 at
2-0.
least. Game number 2 was really close. Game number 2, I feel like Quacker and Burnt probably should have won there.
Needler 4 Eyes and the Fiend. I can already see now that it's shredding.
How's it doing? So it was a 50% result in game. How is your Needler 4 Eyes then doing?
Let's see. It's gonna be boss with with a lot of HP and 4 Eyes and Needler. So that's
quite a lot more damage.
110, right?
110% leak? Yeah,
107.
I think
And the boss,
107 is more than 50%, right?
I would say so. And the boss has 5.6k HP, so that's
Oh, wow. They would have taken a ton of damage then. They might have even died to that. So, Twitch chat, there's a lesson there to be had for making sure
if
you
you're
send
sending
the
on
right
15,
mercenaries.
make sure that it's
Yeah.
make sure that it's Needler 4 Eyes.
Or make sure it's a good send instead of a bad one. Yeah, pretty solid lesson there. But Scottrold, I think we need to have another brief break now. Maybe come back here in 5 minutes' time so we can start the losers bracket, which of course Burnt belongs in. And we will, yeah, Twitch chat, don't go anywhere. We will be right back with the final series of the day. So make sure you're here for that one. And we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Are we off? Oh, thank God. Hey, Tohoku is on a raid.
Hey, Twitch chat, we are back. Thank you for bearing with us during that break. And there has been some interesting developments as well. It seems, let me bring up the bracket to show you guys. Okay, that's not the bracket, that's just my face. Here's the bracket. So if we have a look at this, we can see that the Doomsday duo won over No Greed Balls Feed in the second group, which means that they now have to play up against Tomato Boys, that's King Dan's and Widdowson, of course, in the loser bracket. That's interesting in itself, actually. So King Dan's and Widdowson, they lost their winner match up against the Sweaty Tryhards. That's Adams and Tuvis, which means Adams and Tuvis are guaranteed through till tomorrow's semi-finals, while King Dan's and Widdowson, they actually have to play up against Doomsday just to have a chance to stay in the tournament. So that's quite a cool one. And at the top half of the bracket, so the bracket that we've been watching, obviously we've just seen Big Bro Lil Bro win against Penny Sucks. That was a 2-0. But Team Speedrun and Team Fast Trees, they actually had a closer series. So the Speedrunners did win, but they only just managed to close it out with a very close race on Wave 16. They were the winners, so they did come out on top, but that was a pretty close victory for the Speedrunners, and that means they may be on the back foot, especially because they're now playing the losers match up against Penny Sucks, which of course was the team that beat them in the very first series of the stream. So it's a bit of a rematch, it's a grudge match, and we did see the first time around that Penny Sucks came out on top. So we're going to have to see now, are the speedrunners able to bring this one back and show these guys what they're made of, because it's everything to play for now. One more loss and they're out of the tournament.
It was a close series, the first one, so anything can happen there. We did see Speedrun pull ahead in the early game in all 3 games, I think.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not the last one, but that was when Penny Sucks had the most disgusting rolls you could ask for. So,
yeah.
I mean, that is a tough one to beat in a all-important game 3. But like, if Penny Sucks doesn't get so clutch rolls this time, Speedrun might just be able to take it.
Yeah.
You do not count them out just because they lost the first one.
No. And you know, they are coming off a win, so hopefully the speedrunners are not feeling too pressured. You know, they've got to have the mojo on their side, you know, but it's whereas the Team Penny Sucks, they just came off the back of a pretty rough 2-0 defeat. So you got to think, like, if you're playing for the mental edge now, maybe the speedrunners have the upper hand.
That might just be, and you cannot underestimate momentum in a game like this.
Yeah, absolutely. When everything comes down to like tiny decisions and last second decisions, and like, do you build for this wave? Do you save one more wave? We saw that be the doom of Penny Sucks in the previous game. You know, it's hard to make those on-the-fly decisions in a game like this, and especially if you're playing a little bit stressed, a little bit tilted or whatever, it makes those decisions really difficult.
It definitely does.
All right, it looks like most of the players are in the lobby and ready, so we should have this final series ready for you guys at home very, very shortly. Okay, and it looks like everybody is here, so we should be into the game any second now.
That's amazing. I just saw your face in negative on stream.
Yeah. I set that up for one of the venting videos and just forgot to ever change it back. All right, Twitch chat, here it is, the final series of the day. It is a grudge match, a remake of the first series. We have the speedrunners on the left, that is Shay and Shadowwings, and they are up against Team Penny Sucks on the right. That's Burnt, Das Brot, and Dark Quacker. This is everything to play for now. The winner makes it through till tomorrow's semi-finals. The loser goes home with nothing. Let's go.
Burnt just picking the Fiesta right away. We have Sheer with the YOLO. That is an early game YOLO. He's gonna have to reroll for something better at some point.
It's a very playable YOLO, though.
It is very playable. I mean, yeah, he could go for the Atom start.
And we
He
have,
could also go.
yeah, Atom start is solid. He's going for an Atom and a Pack Rat, which is an interesting one because now he can't
See.
afford another Atom. So he's going to have to go for something like a Blob.
He could go. He could go for 3 small protons.
Yeah, that works.
That's a pretty classic hold wave 1. But I think it leads to a snail. But who would send a snail on wave 1 in a tournament? Unless you're playing against Julian and you know that he has a tendency to go.
Yeah, Fiesta, right? Speaking of
Fiesta,
which,
yeah.
he is Fiesta in this game. He's going for the Devilfish Harpy build, but that doesn't leak wave 1. The Devilfish is too high. The Harpy will have too much mana, and it's going to halt.
But maybe he expects the snail.
Maybe.
It doesn't come though.
Yeah, I think this being burnt, we can just safely assume that he's just playing badly.
I mean, yeah. Shadows is the only one to not receive anything here.
Mm-hmm. He is getting starved by a tryhard, but burnt will not leak here, so he won't be able to send that 40 pre-income, which is what he was planning to do, I think.
Yeah, Lizard would have been really good against the Berserker here.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, just look at this, because his Devilfish was too high, he's able to hold. It's pretty close, but it's, yeah, it's a hold there.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Oh, he does actually still get the 40, but still doesn't send it.
He holds it.
And Shadow's not scared. He's just going 5 workers anyway. He's saying, you can't intimidate me, Mr. Burnt Dasprote.
I mean, Shadows is a courageous player. She doing the treasure hunt again, but he has a proton and a looter to back it up. He doesn't receive anything, so it's all good.
Shay staying very high value there. Okay, so Burnt goes for the wave 3 send into Shadow, but he's got really good options. He could, I mean, he's kind of spoilt for choice actually on Shadow. He can go for Gargoyles, he can go for Serpents, he can go for Oathbreaker, and all of those are very, very strong options on wave 3.
Yeah, Julian just holding again, but then he's gonna leak big here.
Yeah.
Maybe the larvae are good.
Does Shay send the snail as well? I think he probably will. Yeah, so Shadow gets the Berserker Serpent and even a Chain Fist as well with that Cash Out Gold.
Oh, that is strong.
So yeah, Burnt not even trying to leak him actually. He just goes Lizard, Snail, King up, understanding that Shadow probably has a good answer here. And as you said, Scoff, he's going to leak really hard. So he didn't Fiesta on wave 1 or 2, and now he just leaks 83% here on wave 3.
And you know what is not good for holding wave 3 in the middle?
Yeah, a Nightmare with 36% HP.
Yeah. You do not get a lot of HP value. And
yeah. I mean, he kills 2, and that's it. So they're going to take a decent bit of King damage here on wave 3.
I mean, King has just been buffed wave.
Yeah, it has for sure.
So it's not that detrimental, but yeah, you still hate to see it.
Mm-hmm. Now we see everybody saving their Mythium here on wave 4, so nothing much to write home about. I don't even think that Burnt can leak here to a no-send, even though he's pretty low value. He has 3 Harpies and a Devilfish, which are all amazing units.
You don't want the 3rd Harpy, I think.
If he wants any chance of leaking, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he gets a snail.
Snail
Maybe he expected something bigger, but yeah, he's just too good here.
Yeah.
And the Harpies, they just tear units apart here.
Yeah, and the Devilfish is just the perfect tank as well, right?
Yeah.
Shay whispering me that he
Eh,
forgot to hunt. Yeah, that's a bit bad. He has got 435 value.
I mean, look at this. A third harpy would have. If he only had two harpies, he would have leaked just a little bit, I think.
Yeah, probably, right? But yeah, Shay forgetting to hunt there does cost him 11 Mythium. So that is a costly mistake, we have to say.
Yeah. I mean, Julian is taking advantage of the Fiesta to just dare to push hard. He does have the worker lead. Quite substantially, actually. Shadows with the coiler, but
The Coiler's really solid, actually, on 5. It 2-shots all of the small scorpions.
yeah, that is pretty strong.
But now it's on the Dino, which it does not 2-shot, so we
No, but
might
I
end up
still think
seeing
it's
a
worth it
leak.
to kill it early.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's just holding. It's
The,
very
the
worth
small
it.
ones, the small one does not have a lot of damage.
Hmm.
The Dino kind of does.
And this is a really bad Fiesta game from Burnt Dust Brote, it has to be said. He's only leaked one wave, and that was 83%. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's not the way to play Fiesta.
Hmm. So the
I wonder how much
Canadian...
Fiesta he's practiced.
He plays a lot of Fiesta, he's just not a very good player.
Oh yeah, I mean, no surprise here.
Meanwhile, Shadow Wings with 11 workers really starting to pull ahead of the pack here. Of course, he's very strong on wave 6, so felt comfortable to do so.
I mean, sure, Shadows is ahead, but Shay is behind, so
wow.
it was.
And Quacker actually played it risky here. He's 475 value, receiving an 80 cent. He probably didn't expect Shadow to have so much Mythium, but he's going to get really punished here. That's a
Ooh.
77% leak there for Quacker, and he's not the Fiesta player.
Well, at least Julian is just so overvalued as a Fiesta that he's gonna easy cover.
Yeah. Fiesta player covering.
Working as intended.
And we do have a pretty big send coming out now from Quacker. That's 2 brutes, a couple of snails into the mix just for good measure. And Shay, I mean, he's going to be on value when he finishes building. He's just not very good for this wave. He probably has to go for the Coiler. Yeah, the Slime
Do you
Lava
like
could
the
be a choice
coiler
as
over
well.
the?
The Slime
I mean,
Lava could be a solid choice.
I sell the proton and build 2 larvae, or that works as well, I suppose. But that's a 4th atom. I don't like that.
That's a lot of atoms.
He needed more tank value here.
But this thing won't get to full mana, right? Because it's his only melee
yeah,
unit.
exactly. He
Yeah.
needed more tank value.
So maybe like another blob or something, just to have a chance of his slime mommy getting full mana.
He had exact gold for 2 larvae if he sold the 1 proton he had.
I mean, he's still
But
just he's just holding,
he holds,
yeah.
so
So it must have been a good build.
I mean, who are we to ask questions like this?
Yeah. He did have the power of value on his side, of course, 855 value for wave 7, but
That is true.
it's pretty bad actually for Quacker. That was a triple brute send, and it didn't get any work done there. And now just
It'll
look
be
at the
interesting to
Mythium.
see what they do for wave 9. I mean, I guess there's not. Oh, Julian has a lot of Mythium.
Julian has a lot of Mythium. Shay has a lot of Mythium as well. Wave 9 looking pretty dangerous for both Burnt and Shadow Wings.
Wave 9 looking dangerous all around, maybe except for Quacker, who has 2 Mudmen he can harden.
Yeah, Quacker probably going to be covering for Shadow there. For Burnt, sorry, especially because Shadow is only sending for income here.
Yeah.
Burnt
Shay
is
has
sending that Ogre.
Oh, alright, there's the Ogre. I was getting worried for a second.
And yeah, Quacker gets his Golem. He hardens here as well, so he's definitely holding. Burnt throws down a couple of... Burnt throws down a couple of these Wanderers, so he's not terrible here. But the Ogre is very, very good against what he has.
Yeah, I mean, the Ogre will waste a couple of attacks, killing the smallest of the blobs.
Yep. But Scarv,
And
I feel like we've seen this one before, right? Burnt,
yeah,
the lowest workers by far, also the lowest income, and his value is not significantly higher either. He's just struggling.
he's struggling big time. This lava slime siren is gonna get to full mana.
That is
That's just gonna be a
good.
holdout of Shay.
I mean, yeah, Shay's doing fine. Burnt, he's gonna
He's
leak the ogre on 1 HP? Or does he kill it? No!
no.
He leaks it! It's got how much HP? I can't ping it! It's got 1% HP exactly! And meanwhile, Shadowwings just holds the 240 cent. Okay, no, he does
Oh,
leak 1 creep. Well done, Burnt. You got him.
I wonder if Shadow should have played Fiesta here.
Yeah.
I mean, Shay. Come on, kill. No, the ogre. The ogre. It just gets through. It's one attack off from anything, but it spawns behind the wave,
Yeah.
and the creeps are not able to. The fighters not able to kill any of the wave, so they don't get a chance to go on the ogre.
And this is really painful for Burnt actually, because the difference between killing that ogre and leaving on 1 HP, it's 50 gold, man. It's 50 gold he'll never see again. And more to the point, if you focus the wave instead of the ogre, you're probably killing like all of those carapaces. So instead of leaking 80%, you leak 30%. But no, he gets the worst of both worlds, the 1%
Yeah.
leak, and it's just absolutely devastating for him.
He must be a bit tilted, and he's gonna leak here as well because the
Yeah.
sirens they don't stack. Is one siren? Yeah, one siren will.
No,
It just stacks
he's
up.
going to hold here, I think.
Yeah,
But
but only
Quacker,
because
but
only
Quacker
because
though,
the siren just stacked up.
yeah,
Yeah, Quacker's leaking, but he knew that. He
yeah,
he
he had
like he
the dehardened Mudman, he had the Priestess.
he had nothing, but he knew he could count on Julian to cover because you
Yeah,
know Julian is Fiesta.
but this one's looking really rough now for Team Penny Sucks, right? They're just behind in every metric that counts. They have less value, they have less workers, they have less income, they have slightly less
Yeah,
king HP, they have less king upgrades as well. This is feeling really rough. So they need some kind of miracle play. I think in the first series against Shay and Shadow, it was a bit of a misstep, remember, from the Canadian duo. They sent on wave 14 when they didn't have to, and that gave Burnt and Quacker an opportunity to get back into the game.
yeah.
So they're
I don't.
hoping and praying for something like that to happen again now.
Let's not forget what it was that kept Julian and Quacker in the game. It was Julian's absolutely amazing Phoenix
Yeah, and he just
and
doesn't
Wesley.
have. Well, he does. He has the Fire Lord, so
He
it may be a possibility.
maybe no, but no, he doesn't have. He can't do the positioning for it. I think.
Yeah, it is
He,
really hard to position a Fire Lord in a Harpy build. Really, really hard.
yeah.
And they're scared actually on wave 12. They're going for income. But so is Shadow and Shay. Everybody's scared.
I mean but that just plays into the hands of Shay and Shadow because they have more income,
Yeah, they're ahead, right?
or they have more Mythium, so they gain more income.
Hmm.
And yeah, we're gonna see holes all around. We have the fortified tanks here. We have the pierce damage. What do we have on the other side? We have 2 King Claw and a Coiler.
Yeah. Shadow's build is not looking great on 12, but he has got 2.2k value. So I think he's going to be
And
okay against some dinos and some king ups.
I mean, 4 Mudmen, and one of them gets buffed by Chieftain.
Hmm.
And he does have a Coiler and 2 Serpents.
Kind of interesting, actually, that Shadow and Shay went for income sends here as well, because I feel like they could have got some work done.
They're in no rush.
Look at
I
this
think they.
split tanking here from Burnt, by the way. The Cannoneers are attacking the natural Harpies, while the Pierce Wave was sat there on the Samurai Soul, and because of that, he holds.
He was actually pretty. I mean, he would have loved to league a Cannoneer or two. I
Yeah,
think.
he would with that Fiesta. I forgot his
But then
Fiesta
again,
because he's just been so overbuilt for the entire game.
he's leaked twice, and he's leaked so huge when he's leaked.
Yeah. Talking of
I
being
mean,
overbuilt, by the way, Shay barely pushing workers from that 12 cent. He's 135 overvalue, has the most value in the game, even with that Pack Rat Underground.
But
Oh,
he's still even on workers with Quacker, and Shadow is 3 ahead of Burnt, so
he's opting to go for the shift here, maybe hoping to leak to no send to bait that wave 14 send, where he will have a full Doomsday. Kind of an interesting play there from Cher. I really appreciate that one. That's a fun one.
yeah.
Oh, but Burns is like full suing here. He's saying, I'm playing Fiesta, damn it. I'm going to get my Fiesta. And this is actually like the first time that he's Fiesta'd all game. But again, it's another bait play. I mean, Burnt and Quacker, if nothing else, you have to say they're a right pair of master baiters, because every game we've seen them play, they've done this massive gold shift, hoping to bait a send from their opponent, but it doesn't work. Shay and Shadow hold on to their Mythium.
But at least stuff they build that are good that's good for 14 is also good for 15.
Yeah, true. I would have loved to see Shay and Shadow send here because that was a pretty smart bait there from Burnt going for the Fiesta League on 13.
Yeah, that was some solid play that right there.
Yeah.
Also, Julian went for the giant snails, but he didn't go for the. I don't think he showed it.
He hasn't
For the
shown it
income
yet.
send.
No. So that wave, I guess it has to be wave 15, will be the reveal. So we'll have to
Yeah.
see if those giant snails can get any work done.
It's not gonna be a lot though. There's so much impact damage on Shadow.
Yeah, and a lot of it is AoE impact damage as well, right? With the
Yeah.
King Claws and
Yeah.
the Sovereign.
I mean, the Sovereign won't do AoE to the snails.
True.
That's never happening.
So we have
But
Witch send from Burnt and the giant snails finally getting use out of those. Quacker sends one Ghost Knight. He'll send the second one post income. There it is. Double Ghost Knight, very, very strong against Shay's
yeah,
board.
I like
Very
that a
strong
lot.
against Shay's
I
board.
like that. I think this is the right wave to send double Ghost Knight.
Yep.
I trash talked the double Ghost Knight triple brute before, but I like the double Ghost Knight here.
Yeah, really, really good send against what Shay has
Oh,
on the
there's
field.
the quadruple Harden. He also has the Lost Chieftain to buff the slime lava on the right side.
Yeah.
And he has 2 chieftains.
I mean, they just
But
have more value as well, right? So Shay and
Yeah.
Shadow, they both have a lot more value than their opponents, and they're also receiving like smaller sends in Shadow's case.
Oh, look at the chieftains. They get to go a bit on the wave before they go on the second Ghost Knight.
Yeah, the double Ghost Knight's still a fantastic send, and I think
Yeah,
he will leak.
they are leaking. They are leaking. I'm
But
not so sure about what's going
oh,
on.
but Burnt doing very well. He is leaking, sure, but not as badly as it could have been. 70% for Shadow, 82 for Burnt, 73 for Quacker. But that boss is low HP as well. Okay, but so is Shay's. This is a pretty
Yeah,
even trade, I would say.
but there's a bit more attack. There's 8-3 versus 5-1.
Both bosses go down fairly quickly for the side of Penny Sucks, so they won't lose too much more HP. And actually, the game's
But-
starting to look pretty even again, Skov.
Well, that depends on who you ask.
Yeah,
But I agree. Like workers are still, what is it, 5 in favor of the speedrunners.
yeah, they definitely have the edge there, and they have a pretty clear edge in terms of income as well, right?
Yeah. I mean, Julian does have a pretty good hobby build. He's all tank value in front, and then he has
Oh,
4
with the
queens
Starcaller now
with
as
the
well.
Starcaller. Yeah, the Starcaller is exactly what you want to see as Julian. And we do see double on Quacker with the magic damage from the Assyria and the fortified from the
hmm
golem. So he's not terrible on 17. As long as the doubles don't suicide.
Yeah.
Which is
But
always a risk you're running when you have.
I don't think anybody's going to send on 17, though. I think this is going to be a Wave 18
Oh.
race.
Yeah, but then Quacker is good on 18 as well because he does have the.
Azeria.
He has the Assyria, he has the Ocean Templar, he has the Swift armor on the doubles.
hmm
He goes for a King Claw here and a Golem there. Golem's not going to be good for 18, but if he doesn't harden, he can harden on 18 because then he knows that it's coming.
Yeah, they have to not harden. If he hardens here, that's going to be lethal for them. And Burnt, meanwhile, he finishes his Sky Queen Starcaller circle. He still hasn't shown that Firelord, by the way, so he does have that surprise Phoenix on 18, which is a... Oh no, Quacker is hardening!
He just hardened everything.
Oh no, I was just saying that he was doing good there. And I think this can quite easily make the difference on 18.
I mean, if he was...
He has no chance now. There's no way
he has
he
no
holds
chance.
18 with those dehardened
Even though
columns.
he isn't, even though he only sells for 60%, he's not pawn shop. He still has to sell them.
Yeah, and now obviously here comes the send from Shay and Shadow.
Quacker with the double Ghost Knight again, which
is a good
but
send. Oh,
everybody
okay, I didn't
hardened.
spot that one. Shay hardened as well. Okay, this one just got interesting.
I mean, I don't know. You kind of have to sell them here, because the game is ending here.
Yeah, right.
And the value is like, they do not represent even 60% of their value for this wave.
I mean, he also could have just built King Claws on 17, right? But I guess they clearly both sides expected the 17 send.
Let's see. Here comes the Phoenix.
Now Burnt does have that surprise Phoenix.
It's tanking the Shaman. It's tanking the Shaman only.
Really nicely. Oh no, now it's taking the wave and it's going to get speed run down. Oh no, Burnt.
No, he didn't. That's the problem with the Harpy. You have so much value behind
and his
the
Sky
Phoenix.
Queens are going to get obliterated. So of course Shay leaks full, but Burnt and Quacker, they just leak way too fast. And Shadow Wings, the man of the hour, he holds out for long enough. He will leak anyway, but it's going to be way too slow. Burnt and Quacker, they are very dead here in game number 1.
Well, I think we've seen this one before.
Yeah. And now the first series did, of course, start out... Look at this graph, by the way. They were just in the lead from start to finish. Just a very clean game there from Shadow and Shay. But yeah, we were saying the first series started out like this. The Canadian duo won game number 1, and then Burnt and Quacker, they came back with a 2-1 reverse sweep. They're going to have to do the same again here in the losers bracket, because if they do not, they are going home.
I have a hard time seeing them win 2 games in a row again.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Game 2 was shaky from Julian and Quacker. It was only the wave 14 sent that really switched the momentum.
Yeah.
And game 3, I've said it before, we can say it as many times as we like, because the rolls were that insane for Julian and Quacker.
So they kind of need Lightning to strike twice now, right? Like they need the good rolls, but more importantly, I think they just need to keep that mental together, because it's rough, right? They've just lost 2-0 against Big Bro and Little Bro in the winners bracket match.
Yeah, they're coming off a 3 games loss streak here.
Yeah, and they've just lost the first game of the Survivors match against Shadow Wings and Shay, so they cannot afford another loss. Because
I gotta say this, Julian needs to not play Fiesta.
Yeah, right? Like, he's trying to show off to the folks at home, but man, it's not really working out for you, Burnt. Maybe just go for something a little bit more reliable, I think. Now, we could as well say that his role wasn't perfect in this game for Fiesta, but you can have a really clean leak on wave 1 with the Devilfish and a Harpy. You just need to build the Devilfish further back. That's all you need to do. And you can leak a single creep, but he positioned right at the top, he held there, and then it was just rough, man, you know?
Well, you can go Devilfish Polywalk and leak, and then you can build the Harpy a bit later.
Yeah.
Like, there are options.
Yeah, he had options, he just didn't go for them, and yeah, like his game was just rough from the very start. I think you pick that Fiesta. The only times I think he leaked were like the 80% on 3, and then what was it, like a and 90% on 9 or something like that, and he just held every other wave. That's not how you play Fiesta, Skov. I don't know about you.
I mean, I don't play Fiesta.
No, that's because you're a dirty chaos abuser.
I'm not. I'm not a chaos abuser anymore. Chaos abused me in the end.
Chaos abused you.
Yeah. No, but I am an architect.
An architect. Okay.
Yeah, I used to be like 70+% tactician, 70+% architect.
Oh, so you're an overbuilder, is what you're saying.
Who would have thought?
Overbuilding stuff. My favorite.
That's the way I played season 1. That's the way I'm playing now.
All right,
And
guys.
cheers to that.
Here we go with game number 2. Remember now that this is everything to play for Team Penny Sucks, because one more loss and they are on their way home. Meanwhile, the speedrunners, they just need this one to make sure they have their place in tomorrow's semi-finals. So without further ado, here's game number 2.
Hey, Julian going with the cash out.
Okay, nice. He's learned his lesson.
Very good, very good. Quacker on Castle, I like that. And then we have Shadow on Greed and Shay on Cash Out.
Okay.
So 2 cash outs, 1 Greed, 1 Castle. That's
All right. I don't see any insane rolls really. They're not bad rolls, but nobody has anything like absolutely insane from what I can see.
Julian going for another Harpy build.
Yeah, it
But
worked
he
out
opens
well
with
for
the
him last
Green
time,
Devil.
right? Hey!
Hey! I mean, if I was Julian here, you know what I'd done?
Go ahead.
I had built a Devilfish and a Harpy.
Oh yeah. Just fake that you're playing a terrible Fiesta again.
Yeah.
Maybe this time actually leak on wave 1.
And then after it holds, be like, what the fuck? This is supposed to leak one creep. What am I doing wrong?
Just go for the mental
Ooh.
play.
Yeah. A very stable opener from Quacker with a Sakura on the castle. I like that.
Yeah.
He's gonna demolish late game. And he does have the Wilds Room
And
to
there
kinda
is
keep
that
him in the game
snail
when
for Burnt. So yeah, he plays a lot of Fiesta. He gets snail checked, and this time he's going to be rewarded for it.
But he doesn't play Fiesta game 2.
Yep.
He plays Fiesta 1 and 3.
Meanwhile, though, Shay with the cash out 6 worker Windhawk start, that's an interesting one. Though I have to say he doesn't really have anything good to add on wave 2.
He doesn't need to.
Yeah, he can
He
still
leaks a
get a
little-
snail here, right? Even though the Sakura is super low workers. Oh no, he doesn't. He doesn't get a snail here. He's going to be hardcore rewarded here. He basically
The
just hit the lottery, like the jackpot, right? Because
Yeah, I mean he must have gone 5 workers.
yeah,
Because he can't go 6 right away. And then he sees, oh, that's Sakura.
I'm just going
Let me-
6. He can't get
Yeah.
snailed. Yeah.
He can't get. Well, he can't even get the snail. Because Sakura is.
It's too slow.
Yeah. And sure, he might leak a little bit here, but he doesn't mind because he has 6 workers. So if the wave goes long, more Mythium for him.
Yeah, and while he has like 50% more workers than Quacker, these long waves are really good for Shay and really bad for Quacker.
Yeah.
He's
Look-
leaking 3 creeps. It's just perfect. His opponents probably think he's playing Fiesta as well, but we know he's not.
I mean, right now he might wish he was playing Fiesta.
Yeah, right? Okay, so here's the DT send coming out from both Shay and Shadow. Quacker will be able to hold against a 60 send if Shadow decides to full send. And Burnt, I mean, he should be fine as well, right?
Yeah, he's fine. He has a Green Devil for 3. Even though a turtle is coming in to him, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
It's just one turtle.
There's just one turtle. Oh no, it's a
No, it's a
snail as
snail.
well. Okay, I didn't see the
Oh,
snail. The turtle is
oh.
going to kill the harpy, but
But the
the
Green
green
Devil
devil's
gets to
just
kill a
killed
lot of
half
the
the
wave
wave.
before.
Yeah, he's going to be fine.
It doesn't matter.
And
Yeah,
Quacker,
it's gonna have what 300 HP. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
be more than fine.
he's fine. Quacker cutting it close, but the Sakura does survive, so he does get that stack off. And Burnt also cutting it very, very fine here.
More than fine was he's gonna leak.
Oh! He leaks the creep with 50% HP there. So yeah, I mean, he is Waldoing a little bit, but Quacker, he doesn't lose the Sakura stack, and that's what's important here.
Can we talk about how Julian plays a better Fiesta when he doesn't play Fiesta than when he's playing Fiesta?
Yeah, right? Okay. So here comes the 100 send out of Burnt into Shadowwing's build on 4, but Shadow just has the power of value here.
Yeah, but what is his value? His value is a casket. That's not very good. He just added a gate guard. That's pretty bad. I don't think he's gonna get a second summon off. And he's a pack rat that's decent, at least with the Swift, but it's a DPS, so that's not good. And then he has 3 Harpies, which is pretty good. But the Harpies are gonna run into a Dino.
Yeah, and that's
And
pretty rough for them to get through. They are on the wave, actually, and now with the spell, maybe they can ignore. Oh, no. Okay, 2 of them are on the dino already.
oh,
Now 3.
just
He's
about
never
get
going to kill it. He'll never kill that dino.
no. His gate guard just barely got the second summon off.
Ooh,
But
83% there for Shadow. Now, sure, Shay is easily going to hold his own lane, but again, I don't know that he can kill that dino either. This thing's just invincible.
yeah,
Wow, the
23
dino
HP.
reaches the king.
It it got killed by the king before
Yeah,
it got
yeah.
down there, but
But it made it all the way. That dino had a dream.
yeah, no holder gold for killing the dino,
Hmm.
which is pretty huge.
And Shadow's on 5 workers still. I mean,
Yeah,
sure,
he does have the
has
treasure hunt to
he has the
back it
treasure
up,
hunt, but it's only 1. I don't think 1 treasure hunt is worth being 2 or 3 workers behind your opponent. And this is a castle from Quacker, by the way. Castle player, most workers in the game. Wave number 5.
Yeah, castle with Sakura. Who needs income from your mastermind pick when you can just gain 15 gold passively each wave from the Sakura?
Hmm. He is looking extremely weak on wave 7, though.
I mean,
Almost comically weak. Like, he has canopy option there, but 1 canopy
gonna-
won't be enough.
he's gonna add 2 one-shrooms here, add a canopy for 7.
Yeah, or a bunk, maybe? Can he ever just shift? I think he is going to shift. Yeah, he's going to shift that 100 gold.
Alright, I like that a lot.
That's
Yeah,
a good play.
that's the right choice because Bunk is really good, but he's not under any pressure from Shadow. Well, I guess okay, Shadow does have a lot of Mythium, but he's only 5 workers, so it's not that much Mythium.
Shadow's going to be able to send probably triple Brute on 7 if he wants to. And
Yeah, but he's
Shay's
not
going to have
he's
about
not
the
gonna
same.
do that. Is he? Is he just gonna go the Mimic? That's a huge difference with the Bunk.
Yeah, right. If he sends a Mimic into a Banana Bunk, that's a
Yeah.
really big win for Quacker. No, he does go for the Brute option. Okay, Brutes are
Alright.
pretty good against Bunks.
Yeah. He sees the canopy, the wild shroom, and guesses that canopy is coming.
How is Shadow doing so bad here? Like, he's nearly leaking to no send while having 600 value.
Because he has a casket and 2 gate guards, and gate guards, if they don't have any tank value on 6, they just die. And the only thing that's in front of them is a casket with 1500 HP.
Yeah. All right, there's that Banana Bunk from Quacker. He will receive 3 Brutes from Shadow. So this is going to be a leak. Even though he's 845 value, there's just no way he can hold 3 Brutes, I don't think, on his weakest wave.
But I mean, if you only leak wave 7,
Yeah,
and
you're pretty happy.
he's only ever gonna leak wave 7, maybe 10 again, because he doesn't have much for that.
But Burnt will hold, of course. He's on 895 value here on wave number 7. And he's only receiving income from Shay as well, so that's a very easy hold for Burnt. He's probably going to full cover in the mid as well.
Yeah, because he kept the Yozora alive.
It's not terrible from Quacker, honestly. 53%
No,
there.
53.
It's basically
That's
just the brutes.
he's gonna be more than happy with that,
Mhm.
considering how long of a save it was from Shadow.
Yeah, very easy cover there from Burnt Das over Builder in the mid. And now the game is starting to look pretty good for Team Penny Sucks, right? They have the worker lead, they have a bit of a value lead, and they kind of have the pressure lead as well, with Burnt having 30 or 40 Mythium more than anybody else in the game.
Yeah, and they're also a worker ahead, and like if you have a castle and you're if you have a castle and you're even, you're happy.
Yeah,
Have a
right?
castle and you're ahead, you're flying.
Yeah, this is going much, much better for Team Penny Sucks. So maybe
Yeah.
the reverse sweep dream is real. We don't want to jinx it
Oh,
just yet, though.
I was thinking Quacker was a bit bad on 10, but do you see what he has?
Oh, he just re-rolled the Halo with an APS? Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Oh,
But
he rerolled? Didn't he have it all the time?
he's also getting an income send here from Shadow as well, who needed the gold in order to build this Avenger. We
Yeah,
see
this
the
is.
Shadow Dancer there for Mr. Shea as well.
I like Shadow Dancers on 9. The problem is,
They're
then you
not
also
getting a
have a
send
Shadow
on 9.
Dancer for 10.
Yeah. Yeah, Shadow Dancer on 10. Pretty tragic.
But can Shay send for. He has to send for income, and then does he get the Starcaller?
I think he probably does, yeah. If he sends... There's another income send coming out from Shadow, so he is feeling the pressure there on wave 10.
Yeah,
And here come the try-hard sends from Quacker and Burnt. The double
he just.
Ogre
Oh,
comes out. Oh, Shay, he does have a Berserker, though. But only one.
only one. What else does he do here?
Shadowings with your...
Another dragon? Yeah.
I wonder if Shadow just goes for a second Avenger here.
Oh, he boosts the Peewee over there. Yeah, that's pretty
Right.
good. The boss is gonna go right, and then the Peewee will make the boss
Yeah,
walk a bit
it's gonna
further.
bridge around here. It's gonna have to kill the harpies while the disciple just stays alive, shooting out
Yeah.
those high-powered shots. Oh no!
Oh,
The Peewee didn't do its job because the melee units got over there too quickly. So now the Dancer and the Berserker both die very quickly in Shay's lane here.
the
Meanwhile,
Peewee managed to
Shadow...
deal more damage than some of the harpies.
Yeah, right. Shadow is holding, though.
Oh, that's good for them.
Yeah, really good. So Shay leaks
But
61%, but Shadow full holds. He won't be
oh,
able
the
to
harpy
cover.
goes on the ogre.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So they are going to take a decent chunk of king damage. But of course, Burnt and Quacker, they held their income sends here on 10.
And now Burnt and Quacker are pulling far ahead. Quacker on 17 worker with Castle kicking in right now. He builds a second Sakura, which is gonna start stacking doubly now. His first Sakura has 9 stack at wave 11. I mean,
That's really solid, right? It only died once in the first 10 waves, and that was on wave 7.
yeah. If you get out of the early game with Sakura and it only died on wave 7, you're
You're
very
pretty
happy.
happy with yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're Castle and you've been ahead on the power score charts before Wave 11, then likewise. And just look at those income numbers, Scofftroll. We have Dark Quacker on 200 income,
Yeah.
nearly 50
Shay,
more than Shadow.
that is insane. And we got to talk about Julian once again. I mean, it's not far behind, but she's a little bit behind.
Yeah. This really has been the Dark Quacker show so far tonight. We've seen him carry pretty hard a couple of times.
I mean, to be fair, we've also seen Julian carry pretty hard a couple of times.
Oh, no, I don't remember that. You must be talking about some other stream.
Maybe.
Okay, Shadowings. He is not leaking the no send here on 11.
Gotta love the Windhawk just being kept alive by the dragons. The little hawk that could.
Shay's pushing really hard now, though. He's gone up to 20 workers. He's pretty heavily undervalued, however, as a result.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not terrible here, but also he's not very good. But he
I,
doesn't get Ascent though, so he's probably fine.
I mean, I think they probably are going to go for a wave 13 undercut. I don't see why else he would like almost suicide push here. But yeah, Burnt
Arctear.
has the Arctear. And the villain. He doesn't have great damage on 13 though, so maybe this play
No,
can work.
but Villain's gonna help a lot.
Yeah, really. Villain is amazing on 13. And yeah, here does come the send from Shay and Shadow Wings.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see if the undercut works. I don't expect Burnt and Quacker to send here. Okay,
There's
but
the
they
four
do.
eyes from shit. They do.
Just to prove
Quack.
me wrong.
Oh, Quacker, what are you doing?
Well, you don't like
I
the
s-
witches?
I don't like witches on 13.
Oh, I really like the witches. They're very, very good against this unit and this
Oh
unit.
yeah, of course. I guess they're good against the dancer.
Yeah. I mean, what else does he want to send? Maybe a centaur would have been good against that fatalizer.
I guess he had exactly 400 to send, so
Yeah.
that is a tough call, I suppose.
But Shadow's really strong here. He has the Sovereign with Villain and a King Claw for it to stand behind. I think Shadow... I don't know if he's going to hold, but he's going to do really, really well. We have a quick look at Burnt's lane. His Villain Harpies are getting down the Roccos pretty quickly, but that will be a big leak for him. Quacker's holding, though. Shay, the
not
witches
holding, I
do
think.
get through. Yeah, Quacker's easy holding, dude.
No, Quacker's not holding. Oh, Quacker, sorry, I was
Yeah.
I was on Shadow. But Shadow
Easy
only
mistake
leaked
to
the
make.
four eyes.
Yeah, Shadow did very well
Oh, yeah.
there, leaking just the 4 eyes, but this is just more chip damage, right? Like, they're already on 60% HP, now they're dropping, they're dropping, they're dropping. Sure, Burns and Quacker are taking a little bit of damage over there as well, but they're only going down to 82%. Meanwhile, Shay and Shadow, they're a whisker away from death here.
Yeah. It's just a matter of time, matter of when does Quacker and Julian go.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna kill them then.
Yeah, I mean, they really, it's their game to lose now, right? Like, they're so far ahead that really the only way for Shay and Shadow to get back into this one is with some kind of wacky all-in undercut play, or for Burnt and Quacker to make a mistake.
Yeah. But look at how much Quacker has pulled ahead.
Yeah, he's just...
And no scent is coming on 14. 15, he's gonna have the 2 Sakura just battering away at the wave.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have the best of tanks, but he doesn't have the worst either.
Yeah.
And he does have, behind the Sakura, he just have an Arc of Justice.
Here does come the 15 send, so I'll be interested to see if Burnt and Quacker feel the need to send here themselves. And they do not.
Nope.
They're saving their Mythium. Okay, so this is what I mean with that wacky undercut, right? Like, this needs to work. Shay and Shadow need to get a lot of damage done here on wave 15, because if they don't, they're just dead.
Quacker builds a single walk here, I guess. Oh, he could. He upgrades the other canopy and he sells the walk again, probably for a Wild's Room he's gonna put here.
Yeah.
Oh, they see the king. They do the king ups now. They realize, oh, we're a bit under pressure.
Yeah, let's not risk it. And it's only 60 Mythium each, right? Like, for the sake of 60 Mythium, you can just be so much safer. It's a good play.
Yeah.
But Quacker's even overvalue here, right? He's overvalue. He's got good magic damage with those Sakura on the MPS aura as well.
This Sakura just takes 1,000 damage and says, nope, I'm done.
Oh, baby, these hips don't lie. That's a very easy hold there for Quacker.
And now they shredded the wave.
Yeah.
They have done their job.
Now, Burnt
The
is
Arc of
leaking,
Justice.
but he's not on fire. Quacker has 100 gold bounty on his head. He does not leak here. He's even going to full cover this, right? I don't even think they get king damage. Maybe not.
Maybe a little bit of king damage, but this Arc of Justice does have...
Yeah, he's dealing a ton of damage. Okay, it does go down, so they will get some king damage in, but I think they're just going to win on wave 16, Scoff.
Yeah.
All right, Shay and Shadow.
That is very likely.
Shay and Shadow, they don't even try to send here. They're going for some sort of miracle hold, but it has to be a miracle here. I don't really see what else can save them.
Oh, you don't put it. I don't know. He put the King Claw. He could have
Mhm.
put it on Templar, but I don't know how much that matters.
Yeah,
But it could matter,
it could
and
matter.
he could do a bit of a split. He has no split. Like if he puts the King Claw on the Templar, does a single rat split?
Hmm. Now they're both decently undervalue, about 500 undervalue each for Shadow and Shay, and the sends are huge. 780 Mythium for Shay, 620 for Shadowings. Shadow is just getting overwhelmed there by the magic damage of the Four Eyes, all of his front
Yeah.
line going down. If we have a look at Shay as well, I mean
Shay's being
he's doing
spreaded.
pretty well, but it's not enough. And there comes the forfeit from Shay. GG's come out. And that is game number 2 going to the side of Penny Socks. So we do have a tied series. This is very exciting, Scott.
Very exciting indeed.
Very, very cool. So
Now everything comes down to this last game. Are we gonna see repeat of the first series?
I mean, man, this was just the complete polar opposite of game number 1, right? Like Burnt and Quacker, they were just in the lead from start to finish. It felt like, look at this 83% leak on 4 for Shadow while he had 400 value. That is so punishing for him. It's
Yeah,
really, really bad.
I really questioned the gate guard ad. Like imagine
On 4 shot, yeah.
imagine if he does a what's it called, infiltrator, and boosted.
Yeah, or just like another stack on the casket or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. The gate guard certainly didn't do the trick there though, and we did see a leak on Quacker Wave 7, but it was 3 brutes and he didn't leak much, and they didn't take any king damage.
no, he leaked 4 blobs and 3 brutes.
Yeah. So he took
You don't.
0 king damage
That's 8% of the expected gold.
there. Hmm.
Sure, it's 100% of the sent gold, but what's it? It's gonna be 53 gold that he lost out on.
Yeah.
Minus of course the gold that he gets from
Yeah.
it dying in the middle still.
And we had a pretty solid hold from Shadow on 10. It wasn't enough though. Shay leaked enough. They took some king damage there. And then we saw everyone going on 13 where Quacker holds and Shadow does not. And as a result, they lose nearly all of their remaining
Yeah.
king HP. And then, yeah, we just get this killer blow on 16. Burnt and Quacker. The start of the reverse sweep has been achieved here, but there's still game 3 to play for, Skov.
Yes.
So we'll have to see. This is really coming down to the wire now. It seems both teams had a rough game so far this series. Of course, the Canadian duo pretty much steamrolled game 1, but game number 2 was really heavily in favour of Burnt and Quacker pretty much from start to finish. So, man, we just have to see, right? Can the Canadian duo bring it back? Can they keep cool? And again, we keep on hammering this point. But Nerve's afraid at this stage in the competition because one mistake from any player in this game and you're going home. You won't make it through to the semi-finals tomorrow. I mean,
Yeah, you don't want to see that happening, do you?
it's so tough now on all of the players. And yeah, and talking about momentum as
And
well, right?
they've been playing for
Nearly
what,
4
3
hours.
hours?
Yeah, it's been a long
Yeah.
day. Everybody's tired. It's we talk about momentum a lot as well, right? Like Burnt and Quacker were coming off the back of a 3-loss streak, and they still managed to turn it around. So now you've got to be wondering: are Shadowings and Shay a little bit shook up? Can they keep it cool as we go into the final game with everything to play for? Because it's really just a best of 1 now, guys. It's come right down to the wire, and the winner of this match is going through to the finals tomorrow, and the loser gets nothing. So, all
Is
that
Julian
said,
is Julian gonna learn from his mistakes? Let's see it.
let's find
What's he
out.
gonna do?
Game number
Castle,
3
castle. I like that.
is here. Let's go.
I think if he's gonna overbuild, you might as well pick a role or a play style that fits overbuilding.
Yeah, and Julian is certainly no stranger to overbuilding. He has got the Nightmare Butcher here. Oh, and the
Quacker with the
lock-in.
lock-in.
Lock-in Priestess, right? Because of that Divine Blessing spell.
Oh, I like that, picking off the spells.
Interestingly, we see both Shadow and Shay taking very early game focused masterminds. We've got the Cartel on Shadow, we've got the Cash Out on Shay. This game is gonna be a question of who wins the early game, right? Because
Yeah,
if Burnt and Quacker, they don't even need to win the early game. Burnt and Quacker just need to
yeah. They need
not
to
fall
survive.
too far
Oh,
behind.
Julian with the Nightmare Butcher roll on
Yeah,
a
yeah.
castle, and
But
he has the sea dragons as well.
he kind of has to stay like 4 workers though, because
Mm,
he
I
doesn't
mean,
really have anything he can build on 3 apart from a walk.
I mean on 3 he can build 3 peewees and a proton, which is decent enough.
I'll reserve judgment on that. Alright, we do get a snail sent against Shay. He's on 170 value though, so he's going to be just fine, I think, especially with the
Wait,
way his units are split tanking,
wait. Quacker picked Login Priestess
and
and
then
then
didn't
didn't pick
pick it.
Priestess, and he had Priestess Gatling. Those are so
Okay,
great together.
yeah, that's a weird one.
We see Shay with the Proton double angler. I like that.
Hmm.
Oh, and
And
he got the snail.
he got the snail, which was just 6 free gold for him, so he's basically playing cash out plus 27 gold.
Not only 6 free gold, it's 4 free stacks on the anglers.
Oh, true. That's
And I
10
mean,
free gold.
yeah. Then he goes to 40 stacks now, and then he gets fully stacked for after wave 3.
Hmm.
Granted that he holds everything.
Yeah.
But you only need one of them to survive with full stacks.
Yep.
Oh, I guess one is dead now.
I mean, that's fine,
That's,
right? Because you can only upgrade one of them on wave 4.
yeah, and the other stays alive, I think.
He might even go for an upgrade of one on wave 3 already.
Yeah, then he probably has to upgrade the front one. Let the
I mean, the front one's just going to die, right?
Yeah, that's why you upgrade the front one, to keep it alive for longer.
Hmm.
I think upgrading the front one is gonna give it more stacks. Or give more stacks in total, because then the back one, well, I guess it can only get 25 more stacks. But now the front one is only gonna get a couple before it dies.
Alright, and we have 2 players chilling with their Mythium, and the other 2 players are just sending Snail King up.
Yeah, see, it only got to 40 stacks.
Yeah, it's just dying way too quickly, right? There's no protection for that small angler.
Yeah,
But this one's
he
getting a
def
lot of stacks.
yeah, but it would have got more stacks if he had upgraded the other way around, because then the front one would have stayed alive.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
would
yeah.
have gotten 18 stacks, and the other one would have gotten the 25
Mhm.
potential stacks that it could.
But then he would have had to upgrade it here as well, so swings and
Yeah,
roundabouts.
still think it's more stacks in total.
Alright, we do have a DT send here from Burnt, but that's just for income. He's not expecting a leak here. Burnt with a very early game focused roll there, actually. Nightmare, his most expensive unit.
I mean, I like that. If you're playing Castle,
Yeah. He just
roll
has to
the
hope that
early
he can
game.
re-roll into a tier 6, right? Because if his plan is to win in the mid to late game, he's gonna need some kind of powerhouse unit.
Yeah. But I mean, he has the Divine Blessing, he has the Butchers,
Mhm.
he has the Sea Dragons. The double can be a powerhouse like that.
He
If you
didn't...
constant
Go ahead.
if you constantly heal it, and it heals itself, it can stay alive for so long.
Yeah, true.
Especially with the Divine
Oh,
Blessing.
talking of re-roll, he's just found the egg, by the way. So
Oh,
pretty solid unit there for the late game.
yeah, that is his reroll. But my overlay is bugged. It doesn't show that he has rerolled.
Mhm.
He's a lot of undervalue here, but he splits perfectly, so that doesn't matter.
I mean, he's gonna leak, I think. It just won't be too bad. Quacker, of course, is holding against the 120 send. He has 520 value, so not too much of a surprise there. Burnt does get one more creep. 42% leak there. Really not bad for a 390 value Nightmare build on 5.
No, that's. I wonder why he is so low value. I mean, it's of course because he pushed, but
He's starving his opponent, right? He's playing castle and he's putting a bit of a starve on. But he's only going for a Dino Send here on 6. Shay forced to stay really high value because, of course, he's playing that Bounty Hunter Angler.
yeah.
He's going to love to see this Dino, I think, because he should be able to hold this with the atoms, and it just means he's under that much less pressure on wave 7, where he's really bad.
I wondered, is it worth it to make sure you have 125 gold, so you don't push any more than that, and then upgrade the Angler for 7?
I think he will upgrade the Angler for 7, right? Because it's more or less max mana by now, and he just wants to start getting those stacks in.
It got to 72.
Yeah,
Oh, look at this guy over here. Does it live?
It does.
It lives with 10
it's
HP.
an easy hold for him then in that case. He's pushing though. He's not going to go for the Bounty Hunter.
Oh, he's...
Or I think he probably just sells the Peewee.
He has to sell the PV, right?
Yeah, I think you don't want to miss out on those juicy wave 7 stacks.
Oh, he just pushed more.
Okay, interesting. Shadow Wings gets the bunk out here, so he's able to cover any kind of lead.
Oh, he just gets the juicy stacks and a third Angler. I don't like that.
No.
I really don't like going more than 2. That's just too expensive. Oh, but here comes the real Send. Look at Julian.
A double Brute against Julian. He does get the Butcher out with double Nightmare, which is just amazing value on 7. They don't split tank, though, which is pretty bad for him, but I think he just has enough damage, right? Pretty much the entire wave is dead by the time the second Nightmare gets focused.
They shredded the wave.
Quacker leaking 44% against the Dino Snail. I didn't see that one coming. But yeah, Burnt will cover. He's holding his own lane. It was fairly close, but in the end, and now the Nightmare is able to heal up pretty decently. It's going to full cover.
With the Dragon, it's going to full cover, yeah. It has taken 2.6k damage by now, which is more than double of what it has.
That's pretty solid stuff.
Is it going to... Yeah, it's going to...
It's going to get one more heal. Yeah, it's easily covering.
Yeah. It tanks 3 times the amount of HP it has, and lives to tell the tale. That's the kind of value maxing you like to see.
Yeah. Well, Shay's aggressive push there, by the way, like even after receiving the send on 7, Darkquacker's only just caught up to him.
Yeah, and Shay has the Kingpin now.
Oh, so now he can start to push.
He does have the Angler that's full stacked and not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
But he also has the other Angler, which is not full stacked and definitely getting somewhere.
But yeah, so Shadow and Shay both very easily going to hold against these income sends here. Burnt and Quacker, do you manage the same? I mean, he did have a dehardened Mudman here, so I think... No, he's just going to be fine, right? He has enough damage, he has enough HP. And Burnt, of course, with the double Lifesteal Nightmare, he's going to be more than fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, all 4 players holding, all 4 players sending income. We do have, again, a worker and income lead on the side of Shadow and Shay, but this time the thing that's really worth considering is that we do have the Cartel Shadow, the Castle Burnt, and maybe...
But I think, like right now, it's just gonna switch them around, but then Shay is ahead of Quacker, right?
And Shadow just pushed really hard as well, right? Like, he's gone up to 15 workers now, 50% more than Burnt Das Overbuilder, who's going for a shift here just to guarantee that he can get that Doppelganger out for wave 10.
That's the Bounty Hunter is going... That's not gonna get a lot of stacks. It's...
Yeah, it gets a few, but yeah, it goes down,
It gets a few, but... I mean... I hate to bring up the point again, but... If he had upgraded the other way around earlier.
Yeah, the thing would have had like 40 more stacks by now.
Yeah.
Because he kind of has to upgrade that on wave 10, right? But it's going to be like a 70
And then he would have upgraded that one to a Kingpin and would have tanked for the other one. You really want the... If you're going to get an early upgrade, make sure it's the one that's tanking for the others.
All right, here comes a wave 10 send from Burnt and Quacker. It's only income though, and yeah, look at this one, 80 mana on this Kingpin.
Yeah, you hate to see it. It's
But
1,000 HP less than a
but-
fully stacked.
Shadow and Shay, they do save on to their Mythium here on 10 though, so they're not feeling particularly scared. We do get a boost there on the Veteran for Shadow. I mean, he's still going to
I
leak,
like
right?
that.
He's really weak on this wave. He's really weak here.
It's really weak, but the vet boost was just buffed a bit, and there's a lot of damage on the veteran this
Shadow-
wave.
Shadow's not on fire, so they won't get a shutdown from this. But yeah, I don't think he can hold here.
No. Oh, yeah, good. The vet tanks after the life binder.
I mean, he's doing pretty well, actually. Like, he does nearly kill the boss, but it's not enough. And there's a 25% leak there for Shadow.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, totally
They
fine.
do not mind that at all.
And Dark Quacker
Pretty
now...
sure the
Dark Quacker, pretty sure he's wishing he had taken that Azeria for the Divine Blessing now, because,
yeah.
I mean, what, he's going to put his Divine Blessing on a gun? Sure, it's a lot of damage, but he doesn't really use the HP.
No. Meanwhile, we got the Divine Blessing Doppelganger, which is held by a head chef.
Yep.
And the two sea dragons. I suppose they are a bit susceptible to being focused down by the wave on wave 11, but there's just so much tank value.
I mean, they just have so many workers, though. Shadow 16, Shay 15.
Oh.
Burnt is on 10 workers on wave 11, by the way, which I think is a record for him. But, you know, it's just not up to scratch with Shadow and Shay. They're way ahead, and they take the Lizard Army. I guess they're going for a wave 13 send.
Yeah, but it's... I think the Divine Blessing just counters the Lizard Army.
It is one
I
of
think
the best defensive spells, for sure.
I think we're just gonna see the Lizard Army completely being
They
countered.
go for a 12 send?
No,
Surely
yeah,
they know it's coming on 13.
But sure, they know it's coming on 13, but why not, instead of getting 30 gold from a Cannoneer, get 60 gold from a Cannoneer?
Sure. But now Shadow and Shay can push really
Yeah,
hard
that's
off
true.
the back of this income send.
But I think, like, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if, especially if Julian can hit critical mass.
Yeah. I mean, the send coming out from Shadow is going to be absolutely enormous.
Look at the income, by the way. Julian with 243 and,
And
Shadow
Shadow on
with 75.
75. Yeah, that's it's interesting, but income is great. But if you die, it's not that impressive, right?
They don't die. They 100% guaranteed do not die.
They're going to take a ton of damage, though, I tell you that. We have the double Four Eyes coming out from Shadow, likewise from Shay. I mean, Shadow's even leaking to the Drake Fiend here.
Oh,
This is just... This
he's
is
gonna
rough.
like that, though.
Yeah, this is a really good pro league here from Shadow. They get so much more time while having really high work accounts. And the sends are absolutely enormous here coming out from Shadow and Shay. Remember, they also get the 3 lizards from the army.
Yep. What can Julian do?
What can Julian do? He gets the second doppelganger, and it's kind of the best thing he has. He doesn't have good units here on wave 13 at all.
I mean, the Lioness is a decent tank here, right?
Yeah, the Lioness is a fine tank, but all of his damage is pierce, and the send is just enormous, Scoff.
That it is. I don't... Why... Oh, the turtles. I get the turtles now.
Yeah,
I was
because
like, why
we
the
have
turtles? But then I looked at
3
the
boosted
3
orchids.
boosted orchids.
Yeah. All right, they do have full attack and nearly full spell for Burnt and Quacker, but the sends are enormous. 880 Mythium for Burnt to deal with, 800 for Quacker to deal with. He's even split tanking with his gun. That's pretty juicy, actually. He's doing very
like to
well,
see
but
that.
he's not going to kill
I mean,
anything
yeah,
else.
The gun dying at the same time as the orchid. That's...
Yeah. And Burnt's also doing pretty well, but the leaks are still massive. 120% for Quacker, 137% for Burnt. That is inflated because of the lizards. We have a small income leak from Shadow, but these guys are about to take a ton of damage.
Now there are no more Legion spells in this game. That is pretty interesting.
Yeah. No more Legion spells, but Burnt and Quacker have 62% less King HP than they would like, while Shadow and Shay are still looking cool there on 100% health. They have the worker lead by miles. They're in a pretty comfortable position.
They are indeed, but let's see if the King Gold makes up for the loss of income.
Mm-hmm.
They are back on track, being even on income. Shay is a little bit ahead, but it's. I mean, they have. I think there's a 1 or 2 income difference between the two teams.
Yeah, yeah.
Julian and Quack are being exactly even on income.
Julian and Quacker have a chance, but this is a really hard game for them now. Like, what is your play here? They need to get some damage in against Shay and Shadow. Maybe a wave 15 send could work. Here comes the 15 from Shadow and Shay. I think
Yeah.
Burnt and Quacker have to send. If they don't, they're just definitely dead. They do send.
Yeah, I think they do have to. I think they would have liked the 16 cent. Oh, look at Shay. He has the Fire Lord.
Shay
On
has the
the,
Fire Lord. Yep, on the white
It's gonna
main
be a
aura.
Phoenix on the white main.
Yep.
I mean, it's not the best of positions for it, but
we do have a full boost coming out from Quacker. He's presumably going to harden his golem as well.
yeah. He needs to just bank on them coming here.
Yeah. You gotta harden, Quacker. You gotta harden, Quacker. Quacker! He does. Okay, last second. He heard me. He heard me, guys. Alright. 560 Mythium for Dark Quacker to deal with. He has got a good build here. We'll give him that. But it's a really big send. And meanwhile, Julian, I mean, his build is not ideal here. He's reaching the boss, but I don't know if he can kill it. And Quacker, I mean, he's just leaking.
Yeah, the other goes down.
Yeah,
they're
they're dead. This is it. The speedrunners are through till tomorrow's final.
And speedrunners doing to Penny Sucks what Julian did to them in the first series.
Yeah, right. Revenge is a dish best served cold, and the speedrunners are enjoying the taste of it today.
It was a dish served cold with the Cryo Phoenix indeed.
Yeah. Man. I mean, yeah, this was just a pretty one-sided game again. The first series between these teams, all 3 games felt pretty close, but this final, like the last chance match, it just didn't, man. Like, all 3 games were really one-sided, and ultimately the speedrunners are able to take this one 2-1 in very decisive fashion. We get this enormous, what was it, like a wave 8 into wave 13 with Lizard Army, 800 plus Mythium sends. Burnt and Quacker, like, they're strong on this wave. They've got Divine Blessing, they've got a ton of value, but they didn't have a chance.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when you get 800. You're used to seeing 400.
Yeah, right?
Wave.
Yeah, 800 is just way too much for any reasonable build to be able to deal with. They both leak enormous amounts. They take a ton of king damage. And yeah, that just opens up the gates there for Shadow and Shay to go for the 1-2 punch and end the game there with a big wave 15 send. Really well played, guys. Congratulations. Man, that's a pretty emotional series, Scott. What do you think?
I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Love to see the revenge had from Shadow to Shay. They lost the first one, but they win the one that matters.
Yeah, right. And this was a pretty clutch series for them to. They made their way through the losers bracket. Remember, they lost their first match. They had to go through those elimination games, but in the end, they make it through to the semi-final. So yeah, congratulations, Shay. Congratulations, Shadow Wings. You guys are moving on till tomorrow, and commiserations to Burnt and Quacker. They played pretty well overall, I think, but in the end, it wasn't enough. They will be going home with nothing, I'm afraid. Let me have a quick look at the bracket, see which teams made it through the other group as well.
It was the Tomato Boys.
The Tomato Boys made it through. Do you know who else? Oh, it was the Sweaty Tryhards, right?
Sweaty Tryhards. We knew that already.
Okay, so Adams and Chuvis are the winners from Group A, and they will be facing up against Shay and Shadow Wings tomorrow in the semi-final, so that'll be a pretty cool one to watch. And yeah, the Tomato Boys as well, they make it through, and they're playing up against our second round winners, which was, of course, Drakir and Isolde. So yeah, we've got a pretty cool semi-final set ahead of us tomorrow. But man, I mean, day one already was pretty exciting, Skov, I gotta say.
Was indeed. So how's it gonna be tomorrow? You say, is there a loser and winner bracket by then, or?
So the semi-finals will be the winners of each group facing up against the second place from each group.
Oh,
so
right,
it's
I
the
like
Tomato Boys against Drakir and Isolde, which is a pretty cool match actually. Kingdans and Widdowson versus Drakir and Isolde. Like that could easily be a final, but no, that's a semi.
It's the Tomato Boys versus Speedrun, right? Or is it Group B versus Group B versus Group?
Well, the Tomato Boys were the second place from the first group, weren't they?
Oh yeah,
so,
of course.
So they're playing against the first place from this group,
oh
which
yeah, like
was
yeah.
Drakir and Isolde, and then vice versa, we've got Adams and Chuvis playing up against the Speedrunners. So both semi-finals are going to be pretty hot. Twitch chat, make sure you're around same time tomorrow. Those games are going to be awesome. But before I sign off this stream, I just want to say massive thanks to everyone involved. Skovtrold, of course, my extremely handsome co-caster, for showing up and making me look bad by comparison with my shiny bald head against those gorgeous locks.
you can be the voice of Legion, I'd be the face.
Yeah, right. That's between us, we've got a pretty good combo there. I agree.
I know.
Look at that smile, dude. Man. I mean, if I wasn't married, Skov, you'd be in trouble, my friend. And yeah, again, massive thanks to all of the tournament organisers, staff. We've got Schnerd, Kidev, Slinky Dinky, and Auto Attack Games for making the game that we all know and love. And again, anybody who didn't hear about it yet, we are going to have a Southeast Asia friendly time zone kicking off in the middle of June. I think it's the 10th of June or something like that. And that is for all of the players in Oceania, in Southeast Asia, anybody who wants to play competitive Legion but hasn't had a chance because Nova Cup is like 2 a.m. for you guys. Make sure you sign up for the Nekomata Cup. That's happening in June. It's specially designed for you guys on the other side of the world. It's going to be sweet. There's details in the tournament Discord, there's details in-game as well, so make sure you're around for that. It's going to be awesome. And I think that's about all we have time for today. So, Skovtrold, any final words from you before we end the stream?
Thanks for having me again. It's always a pleasure. I love watching and casting some great games. And it's been a pleasure.
Awesome. Well, on those words, guys, that is everything. So make sure you're back, same time tomorrow. And yeah, from us, goodbye.